Welcome back to Stories to D4. As always, I'm your Dungeon Master, Matthew, and I'm excited to bring you back to the world we know in the Kingdom of Eltz. We met last week in Coppersbeck, and we got to enjoy the festival, the Night of Lights. Lathander's celebrations had brought up the spirits of all of the people of Coppersbeck. Our party, this group of 5 adventurers brought together, they got to experience a number of festival games, participating in a test of constitutional strength as they devoured disgusting meat pies and competed in other competitions against small children. They even got to participate in a bit of fortune-telling with a strange woman by the name of Madame Gala. Towards the end of the festivities, there was a murder. Oswald Cappleberry. Our players, having departed from the festivities, found him in the Low Prism, a Crowns-run shop that sold both paints, inks, and other magical reagents for various spells. Having gathered there, they discovered his body in a gruesome state with the words, "Where is my songbird?" written on the wall. When you all arrived there, you were felt beckoned, controlled by the strange painting on an easel that was displayed within the shop atop the murder scene. It took a bit of doing and some creative use of magic and grappling, but the party those of the party who managed to succeed to resist the power of the painting were able to save their companions from whatever fell magic it contained. Unfortunately, it appears that several of the guards have now been compelled, and that is where we will start our session today. Where you are now, you see this group of guards, probably about 8 of them, have begun to slowly march on the Low Prism. You all stand directly in front of the Low Prism, with the exception of Silas, who's standing essentially with right at the front gate. And you see these folks marching. It appears that all of the guards, except for Holdo, the guard captain you met previously, are currently compelled in some way. Some of them begin to draw weapons and proceed forward towards you. Assuming you'd like to stop them, I will need all of you to roll for initiative.
You didn't curse my die.
I did attempt a minor hex on Klella's dice, as they've been rolling a little bit too hot for my taste. They defied me.
15 last session.
Holy shit, last session.
Yeah. But you have passed the curse along to me, our dear Victoria.
This is fine, as long as I would say roughly 60 to 80% of you are rolling badly. I'm gonna have a great time.
So we get to kill the orange die.
You guys want to talk about initiatives? Connor, how'd you do with Mr. Thorne?
I got 17.
17, very good.
Your roll. Your roll. Sorry.
Silas?
14.
14, not bad, not bad. Gwynwyn?
13.
13, all right, friends stick together. Lady Callister?
Rolled a 1, so a 3.
Natural 1
Natural
for a
1.
3 for Ismini. And Elle?
18.
Ooh, topping up the charts. Now, how this is going to work, these groups of guards they have some separate initiatives, but some of them are grouped together here. Elle, you managed to beat all of the groups of guards here. At the moment, there are 9 guards present here in this little courtyard between the road and the Low Prism. It's about a 30-foot area where they're kind of beginning to march towards you. You're first.
So a fun fact about me is that I used all my spell slots on the children.
You did.
On the race that we lost.
During the many-legged race, you did grease several kids.
No.
Which sucks.
Hopefully that doesn't hit the papers.
Wait till my mom's find out.
Where's my reverse DM inspiration? Where did I put that? Clella, what is Alilia doing on this first round?
So So I don't really have anything fun and fancy to do immediately without like accidentally killing anyone. So I'm gonna draw my weapon.
Okay.
And I am essentially going to hold an action. And I'm going to swing non-lethally at anyone who gets within reach.
Okay, you are able to hold that attack. That's absolutely fine.
I also want to step a little bit in front of the party, so we're not like right up against the thing. So I know, like just a little bit in front.
Okay, getting a little bit in front of the party. Just as a reminder of the setting where we are at, the low prism itself, it has a large set of windows on both sides of its front gate, but at the moment both of those windows are intact. The door itself is open, though while you can close it, locking it might be difficult without more knowledge of what is happening on the inside. Moving on, Mr. Thorne. It looks like the trio of guards that is closest to you is about to move forwards. What are you doing?
I'm gonna get as close as I can to all three of them,
Okay.
and I will cast Arms of Hadar.
Arms of Hadar. Okay, why don't you let me know a little bit more about that spell? Can we get one of the combat songs on? Can you get one of the combat songs on?
Let's try to snap these
perfect.
guys out of it.
Excellent. Arms of Hadar. What am I making over here?
It's a strength saving throw.
All right. DC
14.
14. That's 2 failures. What do I get, boss?
They succeed. It's for half,
Okay.
so it's 5 damage total.
And what happens when you cast this spell?
It's just like an explosion of these inky black like tendrils.
Okay.
They're kind of outlined in like a green eldritch energy.
Yeah, you kind of gesture forwards, and that same energy we've seen previously pushes forward now in a little bit more visually offensive manner. And they take half damage on a success or no damage?
Half, because it's a leveled spell.
Half damage. You watch as these first 3 guards kind of they get struck by this. They're not terribly strong people. The ones who failed to save, they look quite hurt, instantly sapped a bit of their strength. And what once was this compulsion as their eyes flicker is now a bit of fear and confusion. Horrified, it doesn't look like these three appear to be fleeing.
Good.
Okay. Is that it for your turn, Mr. Thorne?
Is there any other guards advancing towards the painting?
There are still 5 more guards. Holdo is in the street. She doesn't seem to have full gauge as to what's happening here, but is realizing that approaching is a dangerous thing. Doesn't seem that she's compelled, but there are 5 additional guards here in the courtyard.
Okay. How far are they from like where I'm at? Like, can I hit them with my? Can I push one?
Oh,
of them?
absolutely. This
Okay.
You're in the courtyard in front of a shop. So think that just about 15 to 30 feet between the road and the actual building.
Yeah, I'll shove one of them back.
Perfect. I'll make a strength saving throw. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's a 15 on the die for
It's a pass.
Okay. So there's gonna be unfortunately, you push at him, does not seem to deter what's going on in there. We're gonna move on to the guards. Seeing this going on, you watch as a pair of the guards begin advancing towards the party. Couple things gonna happen. First, as one of the guards who's approaching takes out his horn and begins to blow, similar to the sound of the alarms you heard earlier in the day when Esmini actually alerted the guards to the murder. As the guard begins to blow on the horn, you hear more shouting coming from the streets as additional reinforcements are being summoned. That guard, however, as he proceeds forward, will provoke your attack of opportunity. Elle, what would you like to do?
I am swinging my sword non-lethally.
Okay.
So.
I don't believe you have a weapon burst active at this time.
No, I did
Correct.
not. I didn't want to actually electrocute them to death.
That's a reasonable decision.
Yeah. So that is going to be a 16.
A 16 will hit. Go ahead and roll. Actually, the damage itself, it's non-lethal.
Yeah.
And as such, this will end the effect, as it is damage that breaks the effect as far as you know at this time.
Awesome.
So that's 1 more of them down.
Cool.
The other guard begins to call out, "Hey, you ruffians! You're getting in the way of business. We're the Coppersbeck Guard." and is going to reach down and pull what looks to be a coiled collection of ropes, but as he tosses it sideways and it begins to expand in midair, appears to be a sort of net. I'm going to need... Let's see here. Is Meanie? I'm gonna need... Let me make sure this hits. Does a 17 hit?
Wait. Yes, definitely.
As-
Look at that number.
As the rope, as this net flies towards you, as it strikes you, you don't take any damage. You do become restrained. Your speed is reduced to 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And if you make any dex saves, disadvantage on those as well.
Great.
Okay. That is going to be it for this section of guards. We're then going to move on over to Silas. Silas, you hear more guards are coming. More kindling for the fire.
Did you say I was by the door or the front gate?
Yes, you're by the door. There's no actual gate. It's just a little courtyard in front of the low prism.
Is it still closed?
The door it was open. You were peeking through at the end of last session.
Is it an action to close it then?
No. If you want to use your object interaction, kind of like you're absolutely fine there.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and close the door, and then Silas is just gonna 300 pounds sit down in front of the door. It's actually 386 pounds.
Incredible. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay.
If possible, do I still have an action to hold an action, or is that gonna?
What do you? So holding an action, it consumes your action and your reaction. I'll need to know what you're doing and what the trigger is.
Smack or bonk with a hammer if anyone gets too close.
You want to bonk someone with a hammer?
Yes.
Thank you. We do. That is actually a good point. I did not. We are still very excited that this is our last session of September. If you're interested in becoming a subscriber, we'd really appreciate it. We also have some really cool emotes, which you can see on our Twitter, which we're working on unlocking, including our dear Gwynwyn getting bonked by a hammer.
Deservedly.
You know what you did.
I do know what I did. It's
Jumping
fine.
right on back in, absolutely you can prepare that action.
Sitting.
Continuing, let's go to your bestie, Gwynwyn.
How far apart are the windows?
The windows themselves are about 3 feet on either side of the door, and the windows are about 8 feet long. So think about it, it's covering the front side of this building.
Okay.
But they're large windows. This is one of the fanciest places in Coppersbeck.
Well, that one's covering the door, so Gwynwyn's gonna cast grease on the windows to the left, so that way no one can jump through the windows.
Okay, let me make sure I'm understanding this. You are greasing the windows?
I'm like greasing the ground right in front, so that way.
You're greasing the ground!
Yes.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
No.
Can I have...
We're all collectively, we're like,
You're doing it through the left window?
Yes, the left.
And how big of a square is
It's a
that?
10-foot square.
Perfect. You fully, not just the whole width of the window, but also the 10 feet in front of it, which is able to avoid several of your friends here. It's on the other side than where Ililie is. So you kind of have a nice wide formation. And is that going to be it for your turn, Gwynwyn?
That's gonna be it for Gwynwyn's turn.
All right. We're going back into the guards.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see here.
does fat ignite?
Yes.
Grease is not rules as written.
Component is butter. Let me say it louder. I asked, does fat ignite?
The answer is
The
yes.
chemist.
Fat
and its
does ignite.
Component is butter.
But this is magic fat. And again,
magic
it's
grease.
We'll talk on your turn. If you'd like, we'll have to make some checks to see if things work.
It's not in the spell description. But it's easy
I have
I'm just
beer
saying.
and
I
I'm
would
on
never
fire.
do anything against rules as written. I am a strictly by the
Actually,
book.
don't
I can't
use
even say it.
homebrew. You're all collectively imagining me.
But now, this does,
I have beer you can light on fire, though.
to further derail things.
Oh,
Beer is that?
that is a too high of a level ability. I'm gonna go back to the guard's turn. You're not gonna distract me. I'll get to
derail
roll
later.
either way. L, one of the guards is going to actually come up and approach you.
Let's fight.
They're going to take out one of their clubs and going to do a single swing at you. That is a 17 on the die for a
That
20 math. That hits. Going to go ahead and roll damage on that. 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you're clubbed over the head as this guard begins to try to move past you. This is moving on the other side here. You watch as a second guard begins moving forward. Gonna make a dexterity saving throw as they approach through the grease. That is a 13.
That's fail.
They fall prone.
Yes.
You watch as one of these guards, very serious, kind of seeing Silas blocking the door, is going to try to get on the side and slip on the ground. We're going to have to wait until his turn to see if that managed to break the spell or not. As we're waiting... Oh, I'm so sorry. That was a natural 1 on you for a 3. That is going to be the rest of the guards. You know what? In the spirit of things, Victoria, would you mind rolling me a d20? This is just a reinforcements check. You want to roll high.
She rolled super high.
9.
All
The same
right.
die you rolled a 1 on?
No, I grabbed a different
Oh,
one. The
okay.
one's over here in jail.
Do you want
How
another
many
die?
d20s do you have?
40. No.
So
She's preparing for meteor
No, it's
swarm.
only 30.
you watch as 6 more guards begin approaching from the various sides of the street and join the fray. It does not appear all of them are affected. 2 of them stop near Holdo. 5, 4, 3, 7. That does mean we are up to 7 compelled guards at the bottom of this round here. But as they advance forward, the only one who gets to move this turn is going to provoke an attack of opportunity, or rather, a held action from Silas. He begins moving up towards you and just yells at you, "Get out of the way, you gray-skinned freak."
Jesus.
I'm
You
sorry.
can see a little bit of pain on Silas's face as he misses. I rolled a 4.
As a reminder, because you said you were sitting down on the ground.
Yeah.
That would have been with disadvantage, but that is was an 8 on the die for a 14?
8 on the die. No, 4. 8 overall, sorry.
8 overall.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Gwynwyn is like very upset by this actually.
Yeah, he looks at, for a moment, you do see this man, compelled by magic he is, at least for right now, looks to have disgust and a bit of fear on his eyes seeing Silas. This massive Loxodon. Loxodon are very rare here. We're going to move to Ismini's turn. Ismini, now that we've had a little bit of, a dollop of racism, it's now the wizard's turn.
Just a little sprinkle of racism in the session, just to start things off really spicy. So
That's
my
how you-
first question was going to be to derail. I want to think later about, is the grease spell opaque or not? That is a great question that I don't need to
If it's
answer.
visible,
Yeah, is it like, oh, how much? We all thought that to block the view of the window.
What is this?
That's what we were thinking.
It doesn't
I think.
say.
It doesn't
So-
say.
It says use your imagination.
I will say this. The spell Grease, many spells in 5th edition that would describe something as being invisible are very explicit. The Grease itself I am picturing as, now it's mostly transparent or like it has a small tinge of a color, but it's visible. It isn't a hidden thing.
You know when there's like gas on
There's
the
also-
ground, how it has that kind of like weird like rainbow color, but you can still see through
Yeah.
it? That's what I imagine it looks
That being
like.
said, this area is patchy.
Oh.
Some parts are well lit. Some of these, because these guards, as a reminder from last time, do have torches in some of their offhands, so they're aware of it. But the alternative was the giant elephant man.
Right.
They're compelled to get to the painting. They don't have to fight you.
I am going to command my familiar to do something extra beyond, because the ravens have an ability called mimicry.
You command your raven. It is not an action or a bonus action.
Right. I'd like to ask for Squawk to fly about 20 feet away or so, and because you can make simple sounds such as whispering, crying, or animal chittering sounds, I'd like to request for Squawk to please mimic the sound of my shriek from earlier.
Okay, that's actually completely fair. The sound of a woman shrieking, screaming in terror
Right.
as she
It'll
runs
be-
down the road.
Yeah, because I did just do like a high-pitched yell while running. and
This
I
is a very fun.
It's a
very
low
fun
DC,
sort of thing.
but it's still a
Or does it have a DC for
yeah,
what this
DC
mimicry is?
10.
Oh, okay,
Wisdom.
insight?
Wisdom.
Wisdom, perfect. No difference there?
Insight, yeah.
It is insight?
It is.
Okay.
I didn't check the next line.
I'm gonna go ahead. Blue is hurting me today.
Good. Keep using it.
Keep using that.
You can have it fine, blue.
I'm gonna mark this.
We're just circling back to the discussion
Whoa.
earlier.
So there are seven active guards. You watch as 3 of them this turn cannot act, as they're gonna spend their turn stopping and looking down for what that noise was.
Right. I'm in a net,
You are currently restrained.
Great.
You can still cast spells, however.
Holdo, could you call off your men? They probably shouldn't go in there just yet. Little, compelled.
You see Holdo, this tiefling woman on the far side, kind of finally starting to center herself. It does appear she's going to act on this round. Let me go ahead and add her to the initiative order, just making sure.
Great, wonderful. I've already used Misty Step, so that's not gonna help. Oh shoot, it's a message. The guy that, one of the guys that's compelled, that seems to still be trying to get in, I'd like to cast message, actually.
Okay.
And just try to say convincing words at him. Really, you don't want to do this. This is a magical
Sure.
effect.
You're
You don't
trying
wanna
to.
go in.
There were attempts last session to try to verbally break
I'm
this.
not gonna put it
So,
into somebody's brain.
as you cast this spell,
Yeah.
this whisper comes through. I'm going to need you to make me a persuasion check.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. 6.
6, not quite enough to trigger an attempt on that save. We're gonna move to the top of the round. Ililie, it's your turn. Right after, it's gonna be Thorn.
I have a question.
Okay.
So prestidigitation says you can make a non-magical trinket.
Yes.
They can fit into your hand.
It is an object.
Can you define trinket for me?
Yes. A trinket, as per prestidigitation, we're ruling in this situation, is an object that is, well, it's non-magical, clearly. It is small. It is something that you can that you understand. So, for example, it is unlikely you could make something very complex, like a beautiful, intense wristwatch, like a really complicated piece of technology. You could, however, make a small hand-carved elephant.
If that disappears in an hour, I'm gonna cry.
Yes. But I would say it's simple. And it is, as a reminder, this is something that could be inspected by someone who understands magic to determine it was a fake object.
What about a vial of cooking oil? One that can fit in the palm of my hand.
So let me really, you have the spell description up for me, because I do believe I'm gonna pass on generating.
That's fair.
Because it's not a trinket. A trinket is a bauble. It is a thing you'd put on a shelf. You can make a vial. You can't make a vial of any liquid in existence.
Yeah, last campaign I made little wooden figures of people.
What about kindling?
You can make kindling. You could even make flint
You could also just
if you wanted to.
fire.
Prestidigitation
Something
can
that's
start fire.
I'm trying to think of something that would make go. I'm gonna
As a reminder, where you're standing is the patio in front of the low prism, which is a wooden
Yeah.
floor.
The other guards that arrived, they're a bit away, right?
Right. They're basically in the
We're
front
on the
lawn.
wooden floor. I don't want to.
You're on the wooden floor.
Yeah, he's sitting
But I
on
am
the floor.
I am gonna ask, what are you doing?
I'm gonna call out to Gwynwen and I say, "Can you throw some oil down?
I don't have oil, but I have beer.
You have beer. Beer is flammable, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to
Yes,
hold
very.
an action, throw the beer.
What kind of beer?
We're gonna make a wall of fire, and I'm going to hold firebolt. When Gwynwen puts the beer in place, I'm going to ignite it on fire.
You're pointing in front of the window. I was
Never change. Never change.
Wait, I'm not a wizard. I can't do wall of water anymore.
I'm not
Just
setting
like
buildings on fire.
Everclear labeled as beer.
That's what I was trying to think of.
No, beer is alcohol. Alcohol is very
It's
flammable.
Patron.
I thought there was a proof to it. Never mind.
I'm so glad that I'm not the arsonist for this game.
Well, we'll find out on Gwynwen's
I'm
turn.
trying to work around my
Mr.
lack of
Thorn.
spells. I know.
Ililie is currently engaged in melee range with one of the guards. What are you doing?
I want to get as close to as many guards as I can,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna cast Sword Burst.
There are 7 guards. Were you to move forward, you can get within range of 4 of them.
Perfect.
I will get. Here's my trade-off. You can get to 3 of them safely. If you want to get to the 4 of them, you are going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
I'll get to the 3,
Okay, perfect. Nice and safe.
and I'll cast Sword Burst. Sword Burst. I need a dex save.
Dex save. 15, 6. Natural 20.
Well, one of them hits.
One of them hits.
The 6, yeah.
You burst outward, kind of just a flash of green, and these, I believe it's actual literal daggers, isn't it? For sword burst?
I have. It's just force damage, so
Yeah, they're
I think it
conjured
can kind of look how you want.
conjured spikes.
Yeah,
Sure.
like
Bird-
little Beetlejuice action.
Yeah.
Oh,
You look like a pufferfish.
Lord! You puff out for a moment.
Yeah.
You are not, for a brief moment. You stop being cute.
That's not true.
Laurentius looks at the camera and winks.
Okay, Thorn. That is going to be it for your turn.
Can I shove as a bonus action?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, of course you may.
Yeah, just shove any
Okay.
guard that's near me.
I'll go ahead and make my save. Unfortunately, that is going to be a pass.
Fuck.
Moving on.
Did the one guy that I did damage to, did he kind of...
He did break. Every time you guys have done these damage, each time they've kind of started panicking. As they're starting to gather themselves on Holdo's turn, you're going to see what those other guards are going to be doing on their turns. Moving to the guards. I only have 6 guards left. 3 of them are distracted. There'll be 2 attacks this turn. One at our dear Lilier, and the other at the restrained wizard.
I'm gonna net. I'm no threat.
That's true. That's a very fair point.
No, I can take
no,
the attack.
I'm aware. Let me do a real quick. I'm just gonna do a quick little roll. Perfect.
I look menacing enough.
Silas, one of the guards is now approaching towards you, trying to get you to get out of the way from the door itself. As he comes up, he's going to attempt a shove on you. It's going to be an athletics check. Now, are you still prone?
I'm sitting down, yeah. If you hit a 20, I'm gonna go take a shot.
It's not good. It's really bad.
He's gonna leave. Come back.
Make an athletics check for me.
Plus 4 to this. 23.
We have to get to the painting for Coppersbeck, for Lord Album. As he's saying this, just a small drop running down his cheek of black ink. Seems to be getting worse. We're going to then... I'm going to do my attack on you real quick, Lilier. It's going to be a hit. 2 points of damage as, once again, you are struck by a club. They're really trying to subdue this ruffian.
Stop that.
We're going to move over to Silas. Silas, Gwynwyn, you're
annoying.
next on the dock.
Stop.
Are there any rocks around me? At my feet, maybe? I know we're on a porch, but...
Looking around, you're on this little porch. If you want to grab something, you could reach in if you wanted to open the door and try to grab some of the pots of emptied paint, as on the other side of the door is that recently murdered orc. But other than that, there's not a lot of loose stuff on a patio in front of a well-maintained store.
Well, I have a sling and I have a javelin, and I'm wondering which one's...
Oh,
the
you
best.
you carry ammunition for your sling.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, they're stone bullets.
Dang.
Rocks.
I mean, that's what I was
You have a
thinking.
small
I had to pick up a
pouch.
rock,
The
tape
sling
it in
itself is a massive band. It's, I mean, when it's fully because you have to wrap that on
Like
your
Lincoln
hip.
Park. Wrong band.
Truly.
What was that about anti-DM inspiration there?
Didn't Jake say he was done with the... I'm just kidding, never change.
Silas, what are you doing on your turn? Now, I will remind you, you are in melee right now. So
so
you are
it's
currently
disadvantage.
engaged. It would be disadvantaged if you're using a ranged weapon while you're currently being engaged in melee.
That's fine. I'm not worried
I know.
about it.
Everyone's just spamming his buttons.
That's absolutely the right decision because
good.
you're the hero. You're my
Effectively,
hero.
like,
So, disadvantage, it's +3. We'll see how this goes. I rolled a natural 1 and a 3, so I have a 4.
Natural 1. As you begin swinging, you toss this, but unfortunately, kind of shoved between these two people, it goes a little bit wide and rolls into the street. You don't strike any guards that are just here, but
I was worried I broke
fortunately,
the window or something.
someone in the distance, my leg! You're good. We're then going to move to Gwynwyn.
Is it dawn yet?
No, this is happening at roughly somewhere between 11 and 2 a.m. It's very dark. The festival hasn't ended, but most of the festivity, like kids are going to bed, parents are openly drinking in public. It's that sort of evening.
All right, so Gwynwyn's gonna take out her alchemy jug, and it's full of beer right now, and I get to pour 2 gallons per an action.
Okay, now I have to ask. Are you pouring this where there is grease, or are you not pouring this where this is grease?
I think not where there's grease.
Before you take this action, I'm going to ask you to make me one of 2 checks. An intelligence check, or I will allow an alchemist tools check, which is also intelligence. Okay.
Alchemist tools is intelligence plus proficiency, right?
Yep.
That's a +6, so an 11.
Beer is not flammable under most circumstances. Now, were you to have some whiskey, some liquor, that even if you had that on you, that would most likely work. A lot of beer is too low of alcohol content for it to actually ignite.
Got matches. In the
However, I'm just rolling something in because it is a spell you're familiar with. The grease spell in our setting we've established in the past is flammable.
I accidentally blew up a mansion.
It isn't literally butter. I should mention
I'm
that.
just saying that it has a fat as it's like.
I think we described it smelling like bacon when we had our last
No.
arson.
It's
I know
Pam.
this much about cooking.
You
Pam!
literally pull out a can of Pam and just spray it.
And then
Alright.
you light it while you're spraying.
Then Gwynwyn will go over to the grease, and we'll make the grease flammable. Why not?
Grease fire!
You still can throw the beer, and then Lilia can do the thing. I think that will trigger it.
If you throw the beer at, you know how this works. If you want to throw the beer, it may help the ignition because it is, but it's just not enough by itself. If you use your action to do that on the grease, it will trigger her held action if that's
Yeah.
the plan.
I'll do that on the grease.
I was rules lawyering.
This is an okay, this is an okay form of metaphor, like there was a bit of a miscommunication going on. That's fine.
I don't think we ever used the grease spell like before in like a home.
Actually,
game.
Victoria burned down more than one building using grease and
That
fire.
was before.
We were just too
before,
high.
she got tamed. I guess.
Right.
Vander used
To be fair, they were really mean.
We used a lot of fire.
It was a room
early
full
on.
of bugbears.
My first session, y'all made someone dig their own grave.
All right.
They were a
Bringing
bad
us-
person.
Bringing us back to Eltz. You toss this bit of beer. As you do, now it isn't enough to extend the spell's effect mechanically, making more area slippery. But you're able to push a little bit further if you'd like outwards towards the grass. The grass won't catch fire long because it's living plant material, but it will make the guards have to be a little bit further away from the window if you'd like.
Yes.
As this happens, go ahead and make your attack roll. This is at disadvantage. It's very easy to hit a space. I just need you not to roll very, very poorly.
A 7.
It's not very.
The DC to hit the ground in a 10 by 10 foot area, I said it's 5. It is easy. Can you not miss right here?
Can you hit a barn?
You're fine. As it hits the
I'm
ground,
just gonna wipe here.
I'm gonna have the two guards who are closest to you make dexterity saving throws. One of them passes, kind of pushing up into your space, and is very much, you were kind of pressed up against this guard who's very confused, and you see them looking at the painting, their eyes just starting to darken. But the other one, some of the fire touches onto him as the fire begins to lift up, and begins starting to pat his legs, freaking out and sprinting away. Like, kind of, he's in a grease fire.
Run.
His pants are on fire.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Don't put water on it.
Yeah, not that.
This has been Life Advice with Stories to D4.
Smother it.
So that is one.
Our resident.
One of them is out. In addition, it looks like they're gonna have a hard time getting through. Unlikely that any of them are going to be able to get through on this side for a while. However, you do have an active grease fire.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that when we deal with it.
That's what prestidigitation's for.
You can stuff up flames.
We'll talk about it.
Candles.
Candles.
We're then moving to the guard's turn.
Fire, but a big candle.
I only actually have, because the one you just messed with was the one of the two who had yet to act. I only have one guard who's able to act on this turn. I think I'm gonna have to throw another net. Gwynwyn,
Not this night.
does a 14 hit?
No.
14 doesn't hit. A net is thrown at you. You're able to knock it off to the side. It immediately ignites in the grease pit. And that's going to be all of my guards I have here. It is Holdo's turn. Holdo's going to, seeing what's going on here, begin to command her men to start capturing, incapacitating the other guards that are here. And have her make her 2 attacks real quick.
She's higher level than us.
Nice.
She's a smaller to hit than I believe most of you. So just as NPC stat blocks work a little bit different. They don't have effective class levels. It's a little different in 5th edition. But you watch as Holdo and a group of the guards begin to move forward. We go from 5 to 3 of these sort of compelled guards. However, the one who's very close to Ililie, you watch his eyes are fully coated in this strange inky black sort of effect. Let's move over. What was that?
Oh.
Everything okay?
Yeah, good.
Great.
Player.
We're then going to move down.
This is for us.
Is Meanie? It's your turn. But before that, would you roll me a d20? Please roll.
This one I
Rolling
tried
high is good.
twice.
Is that one a good one?
16 and 19 last time.
It's gonna be low. Called it.
6.
I'm getting more d20s.
I'm gonna stick with these for now.
No, don't give her yours.
Chat, this is why I use saving throws and not roll dice.
Yeah, saving throws are great.
Advice.
I don't have to roll.
But you're making me roll for more guards to appear.
You watch 5 more guards begin to sprint up, but Holdo and the others move to interpose. You're not sure how many of them are going to get through. If you end this quickly, you might be able to handle keep the rest of them from getting to the party.
So I'm in a net. Does that
You were
make-
currently restrained.
Does that make my ranged spell attacks worse?
You have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Great. Then can the guard whose eyeballs are turning inky black make a wisdom saving throw?
Absolutely. That is a math 14.
Oh.
I shouldn't laugh. Someone's about to like.
What?
Here, I'm going to set this die over here for just a little bit. Don't touch.
It's
Don't
the-
touch. It's the orange die.
Why wait? I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
Because you had
Hunter,
a
quick.
bad day.
Wait a second. We can't sing that. They'll find us.
I'll freaking keister the thing at this point.
I don't even know what that means.
That was my
Google it.
Don't
I don't
Google
think
it.
I want to Google it.
that was my action. So I'm going to swear and then ask
Swear as a free action, as you do.
reaction, and then ask for my poor dear Raven to scream again.
Okay.
DC 10.
Okay. Okay. Looking over the battlefield as we go to the next round. The other guards who have recently appeared are seemingly trying to come and investigate. Holdo and the guards who you've freed so far are kind of mediating things. As there's a bunch of information going on. Trumpets or horns are being blown. Is a huge scene. There is a grease fire, a lot of sound, a lot of noise. In addition, all of you can now see the room behind you. Oswald Cappleberry. A beam from one of the walls has been pulled out partially and is impaled through his chest. The words above his head still painted there, "Where is my songbird?" And thousands of damaged bottles of these strange paints all around. Finally, you see that honorable orc you met previously, covered as someone slowly poured individual bits of ink, a rainbow on a corpse. Ililie, that's going to be your turn.
I feel like I can't burn the building down, right?
Don't burn the building down.
Okay, like evidence is important. This painting is very scary. The guard that's right next to me,
He's very, very compelled. You get the feeling
Yeah.
he's not really seeing you anymore. Whatever this painting is doing, it's in full swing. Perhaps failing multiple saves has had a problem.
okay.
I tried.
I kind of want to burn the painting,
No.
but I'm not going to because it would be a bad idea. And we've already passed the save, so we should probably be good.
The painting
Theoretically.
itself wasn't magic.
Ililie. No, the painting itself was
thought-
explicitly
I
magical.
thought you told me the only bit of magic was what was written on the
Well,
wall.
so no, the painting itself had glowing letters on it. The prismatic ink isn't on the wall;
It was
it's
on
on
the
the
painting.
painting. The words.
Okay. I thought that was
Yeah,
on the wall,
I also
not on
thought
the
it was, like,
painting.
I always assumed I thought it was written on the wall.
The words that are written, so it's a painting of the room.
In the painting.
In
on
the painting
wall.
on the wall is in prismatic.
Where is my songbird? Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I don't want to kill the guy.
And hey, I could have easily made a mistake.
Actually, I'm going to weapon burst, hoping it kind of wakes him up. So I'm gonna go with cold damage.
Okay.
So I'm gonna weapon burst as a bonus action, and then I'm gonna swing.
Your blade is coated in a thin layer of frost.
It's an 8. Does that hit?
Does not hit.
I didn't think so. You were going like, so.
Can we
Are
get
the
new
dice
dice?
in there?
Yeah, let's go get some more dice.
Where's the dice
Jail.
bag?
Need more dice?
Yeah, is the dice bag in there?
You can't go in there right now.
Oh,
Here's the pink one.
sure. We need dice over here really bad.
Do you have an extra D20 in here?
There should be
20s in here.
4 in there.
That was your. Why was the pink dice?
This is why I bring them.
Because
You
I
can
have
fit
to
a
put
lot
you-
of dice in a little box.
Look, you only need 2 sets of dice.
I'm gonna
Well,
No, because sometimes they're naughty dice and you have to replace them.
There are
Sorry, I'm gonna-
naughty
Is
dice.
that
just
anything
dice
else in your
that-
turn?
Dice that
That was my bonus action and an action, and I'm in melee.
Thorn,
So.
what you got for me, boss?
How many guards can I get to within range of 5 feet?
So there are 4 of them that are in the encounter, and 4 new guards who don't seem compelled quite yet. So you have just these 4. You could get to 3 of them. There's really just the one who's next to L, who's really freaking out, and the other 3.
Yeah, I'll get within 5 feet and
There's a 10 by 10 foot of grease. Well, actually 15 by 10 square of grease fire.
that
People
I-
are freaking out.
that I have to get into. To
No.
Oh,
No
okay.
No one is in the fire.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just get within 5 feet.
Absolutely. I'll make my 3 saves.
sword burst.
You know, I hadn't realized how many AoE spells these second level characters had.
Speak
4,
for yourself, Laura.
7, and a 19. I think those. So those first 2 super fail.
4, 7, 19 passes. Yeah.
There is 1 compelled guard and 1
They each.
fully freaking out guard.
The 2 that fail take 1 point of damage.
They'll take 1 point of damage,
Yeah.
wake up, and begin looking at the fire, unsure what to do, and are kind of panicking a little bit.
Hi.
Don't smother it yet.
We could get blankets.
Yeah, go get him.
Okay.
Bye.
Guards, you don't
You
want
run
to
through
smother
the
it.
fire.
They run through the fire and burn. Ah! Okay, is that going to be it for your turn, Mr. Thorne? Or do you have a shove for me?
Is there a guard that's close to the fire that I can just
Shove into?
get a little closer to?
You want to scare him?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you. That's fine.
The one next to you.
How much do you want to scare them? You want to singe their beard hair, or do you want to just put them close to the fire?
Yeah, nose hairs.
Huh!
Yeah.
You shove over this one dwarven guard, bring them awful close, and just the upper lip, the smell of hair is going to haunt him and possibly his descendants for quite a long time.
God, I mean it like that
Ruin
amount
his
of
life. No,
That's
no, you're
worse than
fine.
Physical damage.
He takes 30 points of psychic damage.
Bloodline
Psychological
curse.
This is D&D. We inflict trauma.
He
on
writes
each other.
in his book of grudges, Laurentius Thorn.
He doesn't know my name.
I guess it's
Yeah.
No
on
way.
this side.
That one drow.
Yes.
It is going to be the fully compelled guard's turn. There is a window behind you because you're on the side the opposite of the grease fire.
Yeah.
Now he's going to end up provoking from you while doing this. He's going to use his attack to strike the window.
Is it possible that he's gone past me as well? I don't know where I am.
You're
Restrained.
you're restrained in a net. You're near him. You're within 10 feet, but you're not in melee with him.
Nah. Never mind.
So first things first. Make sure this actually breaks.
Do you want?
I haven't moved yet. This is what he's going to do in a second. Is going to provoke.
Okay.
You watch the guard take his club and strike the window. The glass breaks out, scattering across the crime scene. With all of the flame and the countless colors as the glass goes through, prismatic light throughout the room, reflecting off of everything except for the painting. As he steps into the window, crosses over, moving out of your threat range, go ahead and make me that attack.
It's a 22.
22 hits.
5 points.
5 points of damage total. Is that including the weapon burst?
Oh, thank you. Some cold damage coming his way. 3 additional points of cold damage.
You strike across his back. This is non-lethal damage, correct?
Yeah.
Striking towards his armor, which cuts through the armor, and you actually see just a small amount. Like you're swinging your sword at someone. There is
Yeah.
a bit of blood. and the frost effect almost, there's a layer of ice now on his armor, and like a zombie marching. He doesn't have the movement because he had to go over that square of difficult terrain to actually make it all the way there, but you see it's about 5 to 10 feet away from the painting. As he's getting closer, drops his club on the ground and continues marching. Silas, Gwynwyn, in that order. Mr. Silas, there is one person inside who's broken one of the windows, and there's one person outside who looks like he's coming for you two.
Ugh. Did I see that he kept going once he got in the room?
Everything is so well lit. It's you're aware of what's going on here.
I'll probably regret this. I'm gonna go into the room and try to hit him.
So I want to confirm. If you're going to get within melee with him, you're going to be getting within around 10 feet of the painting. Are you okay with this?
Oh gosh.
What are you doing, Silas? Oh,
Oh, you haven't been around the painting yet, have you?
No, you already hit me out of it.
Yeah, he saw it
We don't
at the
hit it.
30-foot range.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 30-foot range.
Silas, I need to know what you're doing in this moment.
I have a long range weapon. We're gonna use this.
Okay.
I've got a sling. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna
Strike
use the sling.
true.
At this point, this guy, he's really going for it. I'm gonna pull
Yes.
out the javelin. This is rude.
As a reminder, there are no such thing as non-lethal range attacks.
I know. Oh, this is the problem. There's not a good decision.
What are you doing?
Ugh.
It's just you, Jake. In this moment, Oswald's dead.
He's
A
not-
man marching towards this painting.
I'm walking into melee to smack him with a hammer.
Make a wisdom saving throw as you enter 10 feet within the painting.
Is this a charmed effect?
This is in fact a charm effect.
I have advantage on those, so pray for me. Wisdom save is 20.
A 20 is a success. You feel it's not words, a wave of devastation. This just sadness pushes over you, and you're able to fight your way through it, seeing this man who you're certain is in danger. You don't know what that danger is, but something from this painting is coursing through you the same way you felt on our last session. Anger, sadness, just all of this stuff mixed together. What are you doing now that you're in range?
Really gonna try and knock him out. See if I can't, put him to sleep for a few
Okay.
weeks.
Loosen grip, grabbing the far end of your warhammer so you can really swing it. Roll to hit.
Ay, that is a 12.
That is going to be a miss. You strike against his back.
I already action.
This is just a guard. They're not terribly hard to hit, but unfortunately, as you strike him, he kind of knocks to the side, comes back, and begins reaching his hands towards the art. Gwynwyn.
I only have ranged attacks, so that's not going to be helpful there. There's one more compelled guard outside, though, right?
There is, and he's normal.
Alright. I'm going to lob a firebolt at him, just to...
Okay.
Fire.
Who has a fire tonight? 13.
13 is a miss, unfortunately. The guard, compelled, brings up his his small shield. It's almost more like a buckler than anything. And now a scorch mark adorns it. Keeps advancing towards you. That is his turn. Gwynwyn, you shot him.
Yeah.
You have violated the law. And he's going to move over and club you. Gwynwyn, that is a 16 to hit.
That exactly hits.
Okay.
She's going clubbing.
For 2 points of damage. We're then going to move on. It's Holdo's turn. Would someone do me a favor? I'm going to ask someone else what you did with the mimicry. I'm actually going to, instead of having you give Holdo advantage, because I prefer to have players roll when possible, would you go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage?
I'm sitting on my hands to prevent this from happening, but okay.
This is a bad way to prevent things. The better way to stop your DM from being mean is to...
It's me! It's me! It's not the dice!
I think we might just need to go.
7.
Yeah, just back it
7.
up.
I rolled 6 different dice.
2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9.
These
That
ones,
roll though.
She just rolled a nat 20.
these ones work.
I've been rolling 19
they
on my
don't.
dice.
Yeah, they do.
outside.
No, I
cursing
finally
each and every one of
hit
them.
with his die.
No, it's her.
They're very
I'm gonna roll this one now.
It's
You
Yeah,
should
that
watch this when you get home.
It's called Connor's Dice Day. We're taking all your D. Do you need D20s?
no, I got plenty.
You don't make fun of me for my dice problems. Look
I
at
only
that
have
one that
two.
just happened to me.
Connor's like, I,
I don't
live
like the
by
face
contingency.
Alright, yeah,
Holdo's
thank you.
line is broken.
What?
What?
You watch an additional 3 guards. There are 4 guards in the courtyard, 1 inside the low prism.
We have a wall of fire.
Can Holdo get their shit together and just?
Holdo's holding back a lot more guards than what's getting through.
Damn.
Whatever's going on is getting worse.
All right.
You've now lit up the paint. The painting is visible from a longer distance. That will then be. It's Meanie's turn.
Great.
You went all the
okay.
way down.
This is where I just give up, and I cast as a bonus action Hex on the guy inside of the building. Strength.
Okay.
Great. And then as my action, it's gonna be with disadvantage, but I'm gonna YOLO this. I'm going to cast bonus action, level spell, action cantrip.
That is, in fact, how that that rule works.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch.
Have you been watching our footnotes?
Yeah.
No.
No.
You're casting Chill Touch. Okay.
So it'll be disadvantage because I'm still in a net.
You are still in a net. It's an action to escape that. Or if you want to cut it, someone else wants to cut it. Is Meanie's a wizard doing this with her hands?
Yeah, that'll be 12.
Would like to think she.
12 is a miss. Get better dice.
Scree. Screaming.
I was waiting.
Going to the top of the round. Elilie.
I feel like it's gonna continue until there's no more painting.
Help me.
Do,
I've got a
do whatever you
wand.
want.
You want to burn the painting.
Like, this is becoming like a full-scale war.
Burn the net.
You're so close. Like, unfortunately, you don't have movement. Someone could throw you into the grease fire. That would get rid of the net.
Hey, there
Wait,
you go.
don't give Silas ideas.
Literally do that. I don't,
Don't
like
threaten me
this.
with a fire time.
You want to.
Push me in the fire.
Seeing that the situation is becoming more dire, I feel like this is terrible, but I feel like it's what like the situation is becoming bad. We have a lot of things on fire already. I lean around Silas. And I go, I can't solve this problem, and I'm gonna cut open Ismini's net.
So if you want to move into,
I
move into
wanna
the room.
No, I move and I cut Ismini free.
Oh, okay.
Silas is inside.
Yeah,
Silas
I
is
know.
inside next to the painting.
I'm
I know.
just sitting
Y'all are
around.
outside.
Sorry,
Oh,
I
you're-
leaned around to look at the painting.
Oh, to look at-
Thought about it and went, no, like we need to learn about the painting.
Okay.
That the painting is a problem. Who is smarter than me? Ismini is.
Really? I'm sitting here in a net.
You don't.
Real quick, attack roll for me.
Oh, sure.
AC is 10.
10.
AC is 10.
I'm
You managed to really quickly in the
freezing.
chaos. It's not so much you would have missed. It was just like the rope is. It's how fast you cut someone free. Are able to quickly cut and help her out. You are now no longer restrained.
beautiful.
And then I'm going to spend 2 arcane points to lob a firebolt at the
Okay.
painting.
What arcana are you using to do this?
Arcana points.
Yes. What specifically are you using?
Spell combat. Sorry.
Spell combat. You quicken one of your spells, and you're casting. I'm sorry.
At the painting.
Casting the painting. Okay.
It's evil painting. Don't like it. It's an 11.
An 11 hits a painting. Tell me about the
Guys.
damage. Tell me what people see.
I'm sorry, guys, but we're gonna like die here.
Oh, I'm all for this.
We're just cool with it. Someone
I don't
likes
have any
it.
fire spells, otherwise I would have done it.
You know, Women's a pyromaniac, but even
fire.
she knows this is a bad
It's
idea.
2 points of fire damage on the painting.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it a charm?
This is a charm effect. Yes.
Okay.
Elilie frees her friend and with the other hand lobs a bolt of flame through the broken window past Silas and the enchanted guard and strikes the painting.
I used all my resources to do it, mind you. That is an 18.
An 18 is a success.
He's gonna kill me. I was like, I'm so sorry.
I think you
You
turned into a painting
exploded.
yourself.
You pass the charm effect. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
That's a nat 1. Technically it's a 6, but it is a nat 1.
At least we get to make a new character for you.
As the bolt of flame strikes the painting, you watch as the fire sizzles against the surface. Where the flame hit, you watch a single rune of arcane magic ignite. Beneath you, the same bit of light as a small column of flame engulfs you. You take 17 points of damage, fire damage.
I'm down. This is the worst.
Stop laughing out loud.
I'm never making a
For those
choice
of
ever again.
Silas, it does appear whatever magic just happened was expended. Now that the ward seems to have been used up.
Was it potentially a glyph?
It may have been like a glyph, I suppose is a better word than a rune.
Were you gonna get close enough to do an Arcana check?
I mean, I could make one now.
It's Thorn! A powerful bit of magic, the likes of I don't know if you've personally seen that before,
Definitely not.
just struck your companion.
Yeah, just no eyebrows anymore.
You will be drawing your eyebrows.
Actually, this is when I get my like haircut,
Good thing you got
dramatic
him the ink
haircut
fucking
to like.
right.
Wow, it's way too early for you to have your
The other
my emotions have changed. My-
It's changed.
Oh man.
Winwin does have an eyebrow pencil for this reason.
I refuse to accept the eyebrows as canon. We're going with the Sakura haircut.
Is the charm guard? Is he still charmed?
So there's the guy who's directly in front.
The
of
one that
painting.
everyone's been trying to hit.
He's right there. He's on his turn. He's going to touch the painting.
Okay, can I get there?
Absolutely.
Like between him and the painting.
You can physically get to that space, but know that he's 5 to 10 feet
Okay.
away. So yeah,
I just want to get like
absolutely.
close to him. Okay, cool.
You were between him and the painting, if you'd like to be. But I will need a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Charm.
It is a charm effect. Oh my! Is it 3 of you? 3 of you have advantage on
But
charm
you didn't
saves.
want another health.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't think I
that's
did well
advantage.
though because I rolled a 13.
That's a fail.
Oh,
No, I'm gonna go.
You need to touch the painting. You need to get to it. You need to figure out what's wrong. Perhaps there's a lever or a switch. Something's wrong.
You tried it.
I tried.
Okay. I'll touch the painting. You're very convincing in your argument.
It's like, I suppose I do.
Are we
You're
gonna
be
TPK session 4? Like,
yes.
genuinely.
You reach over and place your hands upon the ink, and as you do, you see the room itself. The blood dissipates, the paint on the floor now put back into all of its pots on the shelves. The store is dim, with only a candle lighting the book as an orcish man is reading. Sounds of festivities are going on the outside. You're looking through the front window, watching this man. You take a few steps towards the rear of the building, finding that back door is unlocked, and you let yourself in. We're going to pause what you're seeing and go back to the rest of everyone. That was Thorn's turn. That is going to be the other guard's turn. The other guard appears, the one who's got the messed up eyes. Silas, you see him just standing there.
Is he not reaching for the painting?
No, he's standing. Silas, you see Thorn was touching the painting, and now his arms kind of go slack next to him. The 2 of them are just standing there. Silas, Gwynwyn, that is your turn.
Melt your brain.
Exactly.
Don't watch TV.
Stop watching TV.
Not that
I'm
close,
thinking
at
of
least.
the Teen Titans episode where they're all being
Sucked into the TV.
like the Mad Moody, where all the televisions are the like spiral things are supposed
I know
to
you're talking
hypnotize you.
about. I know you're talking
It was the
about.
clicker episode.
I can remember this like scene for scene.
Right?
Do you want to go?
It's silent. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So he's been hexed, and apparently strength was your...
Strength ability checks.
Okay, then I will try to grapple him.
You succeed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh.
You want to pick him up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him up and move him, kind of interposing. I want to be here now. This guy's here. Thorn's by the painting, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
You pick him up. As you bring him a little bit further, there doesn't seem to be any change in his behavior, but he's not resisting you. And you're able to bring him. You want it in the building, or you want to put him right outside the front of the building?
I'm not leaving Thorn's side. I'm just moving him to the other side.
Oh,
of the
you just pick him up, move him
Yeah.
behind you. Perfect.
Can I make a quick check?
What would you like to know?
I want to see his eyes. Are they turning black any?
Taking a look there. Pouring down black paint down his cheeks.
Well, that's a trauma.
It's just my mascara running. Don't worry about it.
Now, looking closely, that's actually a very good point, Connor. You do appear to be sobbing. There's not a lot. His shoulders aren't moving. His face doesn't match his posture. Just tears rolling down. And it doesn't. This isn't you. You're not feeling yourself. I'm not trying to dictate. You're not. You might be sad. You might not be. But there's this expression of horror and desperation and sadness on his face as inky black tears roll down his face.
This odd question. An actual check then.
Sure.
The ink itself. Does it look like common ink or does it look high quality? Is there something distinctive?
That would
about
be a
it?
painter's tools check, which would be your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier, because you are a proficient painter.
So cute.
That is a really good use of it. We've used tools more in this campaign than we
Already.
normally do.
Right.
Except for me.
It's only a 12, but I'm not upset by that.
Only 12. Really hard to tell. You'd have to like see it in maybe less moving light. Like there's grease fire, but it's flickering flames. Have you ever been near an open flame? Not the best place to make close inspections. It looks like black paint though. It does look like you're thinking of the correct thing.
We did a lot of smithing last campaign.
Yeah, we did.
Like the only tools checks we had.
Yep.
I had like a secret
Stone,
tool check once.
you did some.
That wasn't a tools check. That was just a dwarven ability.
Gwynwyn, it is your turn.
Can I take a check to see, are the rest of the guards who were compelled, are they still moving closer? Or since Thorn's touching
Looking
me,
back,
are they not moving?
looking back into the courtyard, there's a bit of confusion. No one's crying bits of ink. There's a strange moment where they seem a bit mesmerized by the flames. Doesn't appear the effect has ended, but you've noticed they've stopped advancing. It's not their turn, but they don't seem to be advancing anymore.
Okay.
So something has changed.
I'm gonna focus on Elle, who went down, and I have 9 things of Wolf's Will, so I'm gonna pull out one of the Wolf's Will and as my action, start applying it to Elle.
Okay.
So nice.
I now like Gwynwyn so much because I was gonna do that with my
As
Sure,
a
you were
part
like-
of doing this, I would like you to go ahead and make me a heal check.
Is it
Medicine check, excuse me.
Okay.
Whoops, that's a different system.
Wrong system.
Then it's a 12.
12 is a success, it's DC 10. You are stable, but you're at 0 hit points still.
I'm asleep.
No.
Am I unconscious?
You are unconscious, yes.
Okay, yes. Sorry, sleep is the wrong word.
No, you're
Take a nap.
fine.
It's kind of the same thing. You're
Elle
just
begins
chilling on the
snoring.
ground.
You'll just wake up with a
Wrapping
headache.
It actually wakes you up out of your.
Okay.
I like you.
Now, this won't heal you for in combat. Wolf's Will. It's 10 rounds, but when you're brought back up, you're going to do that healing. So just remember that.
Okay.
Or out of combat, you'll get that healing. Okay. That is going to be now the people you were inspecting before, Gwynwyn, in the courtyard, kind of looking at the flames for a moment. You watch as, because it's the guard's turn and Holdo's turn. Holdo, having calmed the people who are out in the street, and gathering the guards, kind of shaking them, getting them out of a bit of stupor. And there's the collection of a solid 15, 20, maybe even 25 guards. It's hard to tell in all the chaos here. But it does not appear it appears that the threat has stopped. Whatever larger magic that was radiating outwards, the source appears to be focusing on something else.
Wonder what that is.
I know.
Old PC, opportunity for a new PC.
Is Meanie.
We all might die.
This time I'm gonna be the giant elephant.
You're free. You're on the front patio of the low prism. The fire has begun to spread outwards into the front of the storefront itself.
I now profess allegiance to Gwynwyn and Gwynwyn as well. So thank you. I am looking. Do I see now what's going on in the building?
You're able to well see all of the things we've been describing. The only thing
Great.
you all aren't aware of is what Thorn has been seeing.
Right. Well, Thorn looks possessed.
Yes, it's continuous black paint that has begun to drip onto the floor.
It's just me trying to think.
I'm going to cast. I'm going to cast Ice Knife. I can't move my hex unless the person who the hex is on has died.
He has not died.
Right, which was my plan all along. So I'm going to just cast ice.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Ice
Oh, I
Knife
get
on
it.
Thorn.
Fucking
Doesn't that explode?
Who's next to him?
do it.
Silas.
Are you within 5 feet of Thorn?
Yeah.
Yes.
No worries, hit me. It's fine.
Is the other guy within 5 feet of Thorn?
No.
No, he's not. I moved him.
I know. I was gonna cast Acid Splash on
The
top
guy
of them,
Thorn is
and then
the guy Silas is holding also has calmed down and seems normal at this point.
Throw
Oh.
your knife.
If you hit me, you would hit all of us.
you'll also hit the painting.
No, he's on the opposite side. You specifically had him on the other side. You're fine. If you'd like, you can hit Silas and Thorn.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me. Do it.
You hear Thorn in your head.
You won't.
Do it.
No, I will because that's not the important thing here. So I'm going to hit Thorn with Ice Knife. 23.
Oh,
To hit?
Now she
Oh,
rolls.
that hits.
I got the special red
Do you
die.
mi- are- is it okay if I pause you here? Thorn. You've snuck in.
Go ahead.
You hear the sounds of a small bell as someone has entered through the front of the shop. They begin talking. It's hard to make out what they're actually saying. It's annoying. It's upsetting. These people, this person is getting in your way. You begin conjuring up magics. Feeling the wood inside the very walls, you ready your attack. You walk to the door that connects this rear room with the shop proper. When Thorn, you regain your senses as you are stabbed in the back by an ice knife.
So you make a dexterity saving throw, and you take
All the damage.
5 damage.
Oh, cool.
does he get hit by both of those?
No, it explodes and hits you with a dex save.
It hits the back of him, explodes, and you get hit by bloody ice. Yeah.
Dex save. 19.
Wonderful, you get hit, no damage.
Great.
See? I knew what I was doing.
Now that you've awoken, Thorn, I need to know what you're doing exactly this second. Your hands are not on the painting itself.
I'm gonna mage hand it off the wall and throw it into the fire.
Okay.
After everything.
Thorn and I are on the same page.
You
I'm on
you
top.
toss it into the flames, and we leave initiative here. The guard here, confused, but not violent. It does not appear that anyone's coming to hit Ililier with any more clubs.
Okay.
Truly, I went club.
As it's burning in the flame, can I take a moment to just stare at it and try to remember it the best I can?
You can, as the painting itself does not appear to be affected by the fires themselves.
Lovely. That's not creepy at all.
Of course. Can I have my healing now?
Magic.
Yes, go ahead and roll. It's 2d4 plus 2. The guards begin to get organized. Holdo calling out orders to go and run for blankets. You actually see that it looks like a small collection of scrolls are brought out. These are scrolls of prestidigitation. It is a minor cantrip. Now, one of them is very ineffective. It's typically for small fires that are roughly campfire sized, but enough of them cast in short succession. There's not a lot. You made a grease fire. It's a little hard to put out. What actually looks like it's going to end up happening, you see some of the guards have grabbed hatchets and axes and small bladed weapons and have gone and started hacking at part of the patio to sort of separate it out. And the fire slowly but surely is both put out and allowed to dwindle somewhat until above the smoldering ash of this one portion of the patio rests a painting face down.
Do not like that. Before the guards start pulling in,
No one is touching it. Holdo is being very...
The
I'm
fire
into
is
the room.
I'm awake.
Okay.
Yeah, before the guards pull into the room, Silas saw something rather valuable here earlier today. The little vial of like almost goldish paint.
The gold dragon scale paint.
I'm not convinced personally that this isn't a robbery first and foremost. So, just trying to remember where that was.
Make an investigation check as you want to. I'm gonna add to this. you're looking for that specifically, the DC for that's low, and if you roll higher than that, I'm going to give you a couple more things here.
Oh gosh.
While he's doing that, can I ask the guards for one of the blankets? So I'm going to wrap up the painting.
Before they do that,
13.
Too many befores.
Way too many.
We're not going in reverse history.
No, I was saying while he's
right.
doing that.
Right.
13.
So you begin investigating with a 13. What was your question, Amanda?
can I ritual cast Identify on the painting?
It is a 10-minute process of spell casting. It's a little chaotic here. Holdo's coming over to start interviewing you. It's gonna be a little hard to do at this exact minute. Yes, you'll be able to. Probably not quite yet.
Okay.
You're looking around in here. It doesn't take you long. You knew where this was. Most of the paints that appear to have been painstakingly opened and poured on this member, the employee, the solitary employee of the low prism, those were on the right side of the wall. That was where the bulk of this rainbow sort of effect, where they were showcasing all the different lines of paints. The special gold's dragon scale paint, which was quite valuable, as you recalled, was on the other side, closer to where the actual counter was. It's scuffed, but still present. The container itself is damaged. You can see that you probably would want to repair it, or it would most likely leak out relatively quickly, and it's quite valuable. Would recommend letting that go to waste if you're planning on pocketing that. But I'm not judging.
No,
either way.
if I can, I'm gonna put something to repair it. If there's a dab or something I can seal it with, and then put it right back.
Yeah, if you want to just grab a bit of wax from one of the other pieces and just shove it on there to keep it intact, that's absolutely fine. Looking around, with that investigation, there's not a lot I can give you, but what I can tell you is Oswald himself, this beam has been curved and is coming through his chest. You see scattered around the ground are his coins. His purse appears to have been knocked from him as he was slain.
I want to ask.
He's facing away from the wall towards the center of the room, just for clarification.
You said the beam had been curved.
Yes, so here's the wall.
Yeah.
The beam itself is out of the wall, curved rather than being straight, and coming out through his chest. He is impaled, his feet are not touching the ground.
It would normally be like this.
Yeah, so
But
that's
normally it would be a vertical bar, something has curved wood and put a person onto him.
Oh.
lovely clarification. Lots more of it.
Just to clarify, though Silas isn't aware of this yet, just to clarify, you specifically felt as you were channeling magic into the beam in that vision. So whatever was done in the next room over.
I just woke up.
As you go over and start inspecting the painting, you trying to get a blanket to try to cover this and get it out of line of sight. Holdo's sort of freaking out with people, but giving orders, trying to keep things calm. You see that over, just barely over the din of all of this chaos, you see a mounted blue dragonborn in the street, overlooking his men. Lord Album has arrived. No longer does the festival appear to be going on several blocks away. I think things have been cut a little bit short.
Finished wrapping up the painting and just kind of slink away a little bit and kind of stand over in the corner.
Holdo, she kind of looks at those of you who are present. Thank you. I must speak with Lord Album.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have one question.
She stops and turns to you.
Were any shops open during the festival? Was this shop open during the festival?
Generally speaking, no. Ugarod came here more recently from the big city, and as such, didn't seem to get along with the locals as much. But it's okay, you're allowed to be a recluse. I'm sorry, I must report to my lord. No, typically everyone participates in the Morning Lord's festivals. She then excuses herself, begins fording the wall of guards, which you're not being held at the moment, but you get the very clear feeling there's going to be some splinting to do.
Yeah, before you go, can I take him off the wall? I would like to ask her. Or the
There's no CSI here. People aren't going to freak out about you affecting a crime scene. I'm not trying to be sassy.
We have
If you-
DNA evidence.
There's-
I'm one
The
of the friends in
guards
the building.
weren't allowed into the room yet. That's not happened here. Holdo's going to go talk with her boss. If you want to, there's no one here to stop you. If you're worried about like what that's going to look like, you can make checks if you want to. But if that's what Silas is going to do, that's what Silas is going to do.
I'd like to keep him out of as much of the site as possible for right now. Just
Okay.
kind of get him down from there.
There's definitely, you see that over behind the counter, there's a rocking chair where Ugarod was sitting previously, and there's a sort of blanket that's been draped over it, little tassels of various colors at its end, which you're able to lift up, removing your friend, laying him upon the counter or the floor if you'd like, and you can cover him with the blanket if that is it what your preference is here.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I have picked myself up and like dusted off at this point?
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
can even prestidigitate, clean yourself up after the fight.
2-story building?
1-story building. Looks like 3 rooms. There's a room to the right on the shop. There's a room on the back, which is the rear room we were discussing during the vision. And there's the main shop room.
Hey guys. This is bad.
Yeah.
Is the rear room
It was the one with the light.
closed? Because it was open in the vision I had, right?
It is currently an unlocked door. When you walk over there,
Is it open?
it's so the door itself, it wasn't open. You can open the door though.
Right, but in the vision it was wide open.
The vision itself, the back door, so the door to get into the rear room was unlocked, and the person simply let themselves in.
Right? Okay.
And the door connecting the rear room to the storefront, that was closed, but it wasn't locked either. Those 2 doors weren't locked.
Okay.
When we all circle up, I'm gonna be like, you good? You good?
Winwin's still working on it. Identify.
Oh, okay. You good?
I am great.
I am not good.
I went on like a weird vision quest, and then I was interrupted by something pointy in my back.
I'm never throwing fire at a painting ever again.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
That's fair.
like, did you get that? She has it. She has it, right? The
Have
painting? The painting?
Yeah.
It's wrapped up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Win-win. You hear the footsteps as Lord Album approaches. This regal blue dragonborn man with that same yellow-white Morning Lord regalia still on that has now been kind of pushed to the side, and now you just see some simple noble finery underneath. A sort of stern look. I need to know what happened here.
The start of it that I can tell you was that Oswald left the festival and was asking for gift ideas for our friend Silas. They've been traveling together for some time, and he wanted to get him a token of appreciation for all the work that he's done. And that was the last time that I personally saw Silas this evening. Or, Oswald this evening. I apologize.
Can you check for me the spell school for identify? I just want to make sure. I believe it's a divination spell.
Yes.
Cool. We're coming to the end of your spell, and I'll give you your information in just a moment here.
You found the scene, the painting,
Yeah.
bewitched people, including ourselves, and then, well,
I thought it was unusual he was gone for so long. Just off to buy some paints or brushes. Multiple hours, I believe. And,
Your friend, Mr. Cappleberry. He has been through my city streets several times before. A bit of a gambler, but it is my understanding that he was familiar with some of our citizens. And he kind of takes a few steps forward, looking down through the broken window at the paint-covered orc. Ugarod was a friend of his.
seeing as I was told that this store wouldn't have been open, and there's a third room to this building, would we be permitted to see if perhaps there was gambling and cards going on? Just maybe to try to piece together what had happened beforehand, if maybe it was something involving that.
deal gone wrong?
Holdo has informed me that that you called the guards,
Yes, we were looking.
made them aware very shortly after leaving the festival.
Yes, we just.
You are free to look about the building.
Thank you. I'm gonna give him a bow.
It is at this point, I can tell you a spell effect.
Okay.
There is a form of magic, sometimes referred to by more common folk or by adventurers as proof against non-detection, or excuse me, proof against detection. There are amulets, there are different runes you can apply to homes. It's ways to avoid typically tracking, but essentially it is a form of counter magic to divination. This sort of thing would not typically be imbued upon art, but is most commonly seen in the form of an amulet that is used by smugglers and brigands to hide from magical retribution for their crimes. It appears that it is possible that your identification failure is more of a side effect of this ward against divination magic. But if it were to be removed, it appears that that's only one layer of the magic at hand here.
I'll ask, do you have access to a mage or a wizard? Someone who can cast the spell magic.
My muse. Silas, was that an in-character confused look?
Yeah, there was all confusion.
I also gave a look.
In the capital, at the King's Prism. He kind of smiles for a moment, like, for a brief second taken out of the grisly scene that's around, before he kind of centers himself. I have a friend there, Iris Perkins. But I believe once we have figured out things here, we should go speak at my manor to determine what should be done with this painting.
Sounds good.
If this spell is something you believe should be done, I am owed a favor.
I currently cannot do anything more with this magic. We are going to need higher level magic in order to deal with this painting.
Yeah, and just to clarify, there are what are known as circles of spells, is essentially the in-universe justification for spell levels, is how we've talked about it.
Yeah, we only have first circle spells.
Right, which are things, generally speaking, you know, if you can cast spells, you're familiar with what most first level or first circle spells of your type. So you are, right. In your case, you're not educated about magic whatsoever. I believe last time you said, you think I went to high school? Joke's on you.
Look, it's not too late to get an education.
I don't have a magic type.
You were an arcane spellcaster.
Oh, I thought you meant like divination magic.
No, not
Abjuration
spell
magic.
schools.
Arcane
Cool.
nature, divine.
Yeah. I don't know
So,
anything about divination magic.
to recap, there was two
Not
glyphs
divination.
on this painting. One against
Divine.
magic, one's against divination.
So a little bit, okay. A couple things, and I'll actually go ahead and clarify
Anything.
on this one. So there's a couple things going on. There was some sort of wibbly wobbly magic that caused whatever vision your companion experienced. However, you're not familiar, you don't know about that, he has not shared that information. So that's just, I'm just explaining from more of a meta standpoint. There is some sort of effect that was compelling people to approach it and inspect it. That magic very clearly is no longer currently active as far as you can tell. You don't know if it'll come back, but at the moment it does not appear, it hasn't appeared to have mattered ever since what happened with Thorn happened. There was as Victoria noted, some sort of glyph that was warding off those who attempted to harm the painting. But that magic explicitly has, when it appeared, fizzled off. You've seen scrolls how they burn up. It was almost the exact same effect. It was a consumption of a magical spell infused into the object. So this item might have several magical properties, which are contained specifically within that prismatic ink that says those words, Where is my songbird?
When Lord Album steps away, assuming he does.
Oh, he's
gone.
currently standing next to the painting and half your party.
Okay, I'll wait.
And he's saying you should come with me to my manor.
Like right now?
If you
Give me 3 seconds. I'm gonna go peek my head into the back room.
Yeah,
to
I'll go
see
with
if there
you.
was a card game.
Yes, I was simply meaning when we leave here, it would be wise for us to discuss. If you need, I understand you will require time to rest. I
just have a conversation I want to have with some of my
of course.
companions.
You have rescued several of my guards from whatever dark magic this seems to be.
Actually, how is the guy whose eyes were leaking ink doing?
Do you want to give me a medicine check?
Sure.
Yeah.
She switched.
A 19. He looks like he suffered a few points of exhaustion and actually taken some damage, but it doesn't appear physical. This person is harrowed, tired, and has a telltale signs of some sort of mental, I don't want to say mental damage, psychic damage. He's experienced psychic damage for what happened there.
I switched to the die that matches my character colors, and now I'm rolling well. That's all I needed.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does just being under the effects of that charm, did the magic feel familiar to something I may have experienced in the past?
Ooh. I will tell you this. This is a very high DC, the question you're asking.
Sure.
You want to make an Arcana check for me?
Yeah.
I will also allow you to make a spellcasting ability check, which is just a raw charisma check for you.
Okay, I'll do charisma.
Cool. As always, whenever I offer you guys multiple options for what skill check you can make, the results are going to change a little bit based on what you choose. The DCs might shift, but
21.
the 21. Well, you can't say anything about the broader category of magic. It's certainly not the exact same thing. It doesn't feel identical. It didn't feel familiar to you, at least not as a current gut check. If you want to experiment with it later, if the magic comes back, you could maybe try that again in the future, but it's hard to tell.
Cool.
I want to take a few steps away and kind of pull Silas and Gwynwyn, away.
Sure. Do I need to go?
No. And kind of stepping aside, I'm gonna kind of turn them around. To be honest, between getting knocked down again and seeing what happened to Oswald, it's been a lot. And I don't know what you do in Anton's Rest, but I know that traditions are important. And if there's something I can do to help send, him back to family, or to give him whatever services that are needed that you traditionally do, just ask. The coin's yours. Okay?
As
Okay.
respectful as that is, Oswald wasn't from our village. It would be best to maybe not do that custom. We'll talk on this later.
Yeah, just let me know what you need, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit down.
Do you want the rest of my beer?
Would you like...
Yeah, I think I'll take it.
There's 2 gallons of beer in this.
Hey, Thorn, some beer?
I also want to
I'm
shake
gonna
down
go
Gwynwyn.
check out the.
Yeah, y'all go do that. Fine.
This-
You want some beer? Your own.
I want to shake down Gwynwyn for a minute.
Would you like to make can you make me a real quick history check with advantage, Silas?
Am I gonna find out something? Hopefully. Oh, it was with advantage, thank God. History 18.
It was almost the same number.
You do not have to share this information. This is the birthplace of Oswald Cappleberry.
This is because of my bad note taking as Victoria that we're having this conversation, Gwynwyn. Because of what happened, I think that we need to make sure that this wolf's will is distributed to everybody. Because I thought that I had all of it in my possession.
As a reminder, everyone in the group?
Yeah, I thought that I had the 7. because I just wrote it down. I didn't put any notation down. So
Do we want to?
out of character, we need to inventory management.
We'll do that during the break.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Great.
Out of
Which is
character.
not quite yet. Don't
In
worry.
character, I want you to imagine me being like, thank you, like profusely thanking. I don't know what I would have done if I lost her.
Winwin will pat you on your head and say, I understand. I have my
Are you
best
letting
friend too."
Elle
At least one
see what?
No, I'm not like I'm pretending to be terrifying and getting around a
Sounds
corner and going like,
I'm
oh.
not gonna drink tonight. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay here for a bit.
Yeah, I'm sobbing in a corner with Win-Win saying like, we need to make
Additionally,
sure she doesn't die.
With your
Something in a
history check,
different corner.
you were aware of their
Dying.
customs.
Okay.
And seeing a dead body.
Right, yeah, it's
What's
a little...
in that back room?
Yeah, no, I want to...
Giving a quick check around the room itself. The room that was on the right appears to be a bedroom. It is very small, very quaint.
May I look for signs of gambling? Please?
There's a sign that says gambling.
Give me an investigation check.
May I make
The
an
rear
invest-
room itself, it appears to be storage, having a large number of those cheaper paints along that right side wall. It appears that was mainly what would be sold here on a regular basis.
May I try to bargain with the devil? I do have proficiency in playing cards.
No.
Oh, so just investigation?
Yes, you were looking around for signs of.
I would help you, but I forgot to go.
So the door that leads out from here,
Yes,
is that open or is it locked?
it is unlocked. It does not appear damaged either. It appears that it was locked.
I want to open it and just search around, see if there's any like tracks leading anywhere.
Give me like a survival check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good at these, but why not?
Just try to get that
Roll.
proficiency bonus.
Oh, you actually experienced being where this person was. Give me this with advantage. Some really clever choices of who's rolling what's tonight.
12.
12.
With a 12, to be honest, the most that you notice here is that the back, a couple things. The back door wasn't broken into. It just appears it wasn't locked.
Okay.
Additionally, you do find a small bit of residue on the opposite side of the wall from where the beam emerged. So in the rear room, basically, if you're looking at the wall, you see a bit of residue that's on exactly the same point on that wall, where on the other side would be Oswald Cappleberry, where that beam was pulled out. There's a small, strange substance smeared against the wall. It is yellow-brown, and if you're willing to, is it okay? Am I right in assuming you're touching it? It's okay if not.
Yeah, I'll touch it.
It is a light, I would say tan color, and it's gritty to the touch. As you look at it, it's not a perfect consistency. It's not all the same size grains. And as you look at it closely, it's some sort of organic material. You may want to look at this more closely at some point in the future. And if you want to gather some of it in one of the empty pots, you can just,
Yeah.
there's vials here.
Yeah, I'll gather some up and I'll bring it to Gwynwyn.
How does it taste?
Without knowing about what, he's looking at and what
Does it
he
have a
saw.
smell?
It does. If you want to give me a real quick perception check.
Natural 20.
Nice.
This smells exactly like tree bark. It smells like some sort of tree bark. It's hard to tell what this is, but it smells, you've been in plenty of forests. You've been around a lot of wood. This is wood, bark. It's probably not leaves. Leaves smell very different.
And you said it kind of was in line with the
Yes.
beam that went.
It was on the exact opposite side of where the beam emerged from the wall.
Okay.
My,
Cool.
my looking for gambling or other illicit activity was a 12. But mostly gambling.
You do find on the counter near that rocking chair a few pieces of silver and some dice. Not cards, but in addition, underneath the counter is a small stool that has been knocked over. So essentially there's two seats that were up against this counter, but one of them had been knocked over.
So would that be 2 seats total?
2 seats
Around
total.
it? Okay.
So there was both behind the counter, a rocking chair, and a knocked over stool.
Oh, well, now I'm just so curious. I'm poking around for like whiskey bottles and like.
Oh, there's
I'm a snoop now.
there's a book here in Orcish.
I can't read that.
You don't find any booze here. It appears that Oswald and this orc appear to have not indulged.
Okay. It's great.
Can Gwynwyn count the amount of silver? Because I know he won 50 silver off of us earlier.
You want to go around, gather all the coins that are around the room?
Because Oswald had some coins under his body.
Like maybe he was sitting on that stool gambling.
Now, I will remind you from last time, you did notice one thing missing. I'll go ahead and kind of roll that into some investigation checks from today. The one stark thing that you noticed... Actually, Silas, what was your investigation check previously?
It was like a 12 or 13. It was 13.
So there's one thing that was previously noticed, and I do apologize. I should have told you this. There is a missing pouch on Oswald's hip, and there is an empty pouch on the floor. On his hip was a pouch that contained one of the pieces of your salvage. He was carrying with him, one of the scales you discovered before your adventure began. You do not see this pouch at all. In addition, resting off to the side is the empty leather case he had been carrying the Caldish wine in.
So it was kind of... Wait.
The coin appears undisturbed as you're looking around. It looks like there was a reasonable amount of coin. In fact, looking in the back room where you find a small repository of coin, or a lockbox, it appears undisturbed.
To be explicit as Victoria.
Sure!
Was the salvage before... Oh, actually, that might be backstory stuff I know about y'all. I don't know if I know what the salvage was. I don't think they told us. Okay. But I do have a
You know what I'm talking about, so I don't need to elaborate. You guys will learn later.
I have a theory already. I've already got like 8 conspiracy theories, so we're good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I have a theory. Don't. We're gonna get in trouble. It's as much as like playing a song by a, we're not gonna get any copyright strikes.
That means you get 15 seconds. Go.
Do I remember, no, just Jake remember, the color of the dragon scales?
Yes.
Blue?
Yeah. And he carried one of the 6.
Never mind. My theory's wrong.
Oh, excuse me. One of the
My theory was
12.
also
Excuse
wrong.
me.
And that's missing.
Did you think
and
it was
the wine
gold?
I was thinking like,
basket's
damn it,
missing.
Jason. Stop throwing that stuff like around everywhere.
The one scale he carried was missing, and the bottle of wine is gone.
I was thinking Caldish wine, gold scale.
Did we keep the other 11
In the cart.
You know, it's running around.
I'm gonna leave to go check that now. If no one stops me, I'm gonna go check the cart.
Sure. You're not being held. You immediately all got the guards to come over and then protected 20 plus people from being affected by whatever magic that was. They saw it emerge like hellfire around Alilier. You stopped that from happening to them.
If this is like, now I'm 2 for 2. I feel like if it's a trend,
I go try to hold an awkward conversation with Lord Album.
Okay.
we can just go to his house.
If some of you want to head over there and you want to on the way over, because the cart itself is within that, it was held within that courtyard for protection. It's the most well secured place in the city.
After having a bit of the beer and being like, I don't think Elle is huge on beer, TBH. I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, I decide while everyone else is doing stuff and I'm not, I finally go and introduce myself to Lord Album. And just be like, yeah, whenever they're back, we can head over.
Because that's going to be happening on the way over to Lord Album's estate. You all moving in a sort of group, protected by guards. Holdo is staying behind in order to work through gathering some of these materials and preparing for the funeral services. Typically speaking, that's going to be most likely held tomorrow.
Is the painting coming with us to Lord Album?
The painting itself, it was covered. My question is this: how would you like to bring it with you?
I think Gwynwyn's gonna grab it. She's gonna hold on to it because she doesn't trust anybody, like any of the guards, to hold on to it.
I'll hold on to it with Gwynwyn if she
Okay,
needs help.
it's relatively large.
I hold it like a kid.
It's about this big. It's not.
Swinging.
Actually, you know what? It's about as big as one of those these posters, these
okay.
lovely posters on that wall over there.
Super
Does it have
weird
like depth
question.
of vision? Like,
Do you want to open it and inspect it now that it's
So
been
like
a
I'm
few
trying to
minutes?
like,
I've seen
awkwardly
it.
help.
You want to open it and inspect it?
No, I don't want to
No,
open it.
Gwendolyn will not
Okay,
let
I
anybody
I
unwrap
was trying
it.
to make a joke about whether we're in the Renaissance era or not.
my
Oh, you mean does it have...
Like depth.
I thought you meant when I look at it, is it a 3D magic effect?
No, I don't think it's holographic.
Whoa!
I mean, on that weird note,
It's like
though,
Spy Kids, like
I
it
got
comes
to
out
see
at
it
you.
for a second there.
I was
It's
thinking like
really
Pokemon
nice.
cards.
It was professionally
It's-
well made.
Oh, it's a hollow.
Some of the best work you've ever seen.
Not reverse hollow. That's not worth as much.
On your way there, you are walking a little bit faster ahead of the group, trying to get to where
The
the cargo is. Lord Album has left his horse behind and is marching through the streets. He's, very much a power walk man on a mission, like trying to handle what has happened here.
I love this. I love walking fast. Elle is canonically a fast walker now.
Get that mom walk.
See, I thought it was a
Moms.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mom walk. Yeah.
moms.
M-O-M.
Moms.
Gwendolyn does fall a little behind because she's short and cannot walk fast.
I would give you an expedition retreat, but I used all my spell slots. I must apologize for everything that happened. Obviously, we're all extremely upset and had a very... The festival was great. After the festival... Sorry. A lot has happened.
Your decorum is interesting. I had assumed you may have been different.
Lady Aaron Draw. That's what they call
He takes your hand and shakes it.
You've already met Lady Callister.
It has been a surprise to see a binder and someone of your station come into my city.
Even with the lack of decorum.
Should I be expecting your family?
I sure hope not.
You see with that, there's a little... Given the events of tonight, he's a little disappointed. The aid of you and your friends. We are indebted.
Really is Meanie did the hard work. And, Gwenwyn, Silas, and Thorn. I just got lit on fire.
It is my understanding that you endangered yourself for nearly 24 of my soldiers.
That's what I'm supposed to do.
That is a heavy burden to bear.
Yeah. Stop laughing. I can't do it.
Sorry.
Poor Victoria, you missed it all.
I laughed through my whole RP.
Here, wait.
He didn't mean it like that.
In the background, Thorn's just like giggling. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
No, he was RPing.
Corn, wow.
Yeah,
Win and Thorn are just, they're walking, you know how anyone in a movie carries like a glass pane through the city streets? That's the two of them with the painting.
just purposely getting in people's way.
Oh, sorry.
Except for she's not in Dwarvish, sorry, so no one understands her but Thorn.
Yeah,
As-
and I'm saying it too.
As the party arrives, Johann, likely asleep in his home, you're able to, 4 of you enter the manor itself, and one of you takes their way to the side, just past the small stable where you can see there's 3 stalls here. One is empty, presumably where Lord Album's horse goes. And you also do see Merlin and Rada, the 2 horses for Mr. Cappleberry's wagon. The wagon itself is pushed just a bit further. It is resting inside this is storage, kind of like a barn, but it's not intended for animals. As you open this up, you do see a few weapon racks, but the actual cart itself. As you begin looking through here, you do find a few things. Don't worry, we can get into specifics a little bit later. You do find the lockbox itself. It has a combination which you are aware of, as you were the primary assistant of Oswald. The coin is still there. In addition, you find a brief. In addition, you do find the collection of sand willow bark. This your understanding, it's some tool for alchemy and it's a magical spell component. but most of it has been seemingly sold since Oswald has been doing sales while here, but most of it's gone at this point, but there is still sand willow bark still available. Did you have a question before I continue?
Continue, and I'll ask you in a second.
The other 11 dragon scales are still here. These large blue intact scales. There's also a container of the rough damaged scales you found that are worth way less. And for the trade goods, there's several different types of trade goods here. A lot of the stocks here have been sold, like a quarter to a third of stuff has sold. But it's metals, it's dried ginger, it's bolts of cloth of high quality. There's no terribly magical things here. The most magical stuff you have is the sand willow bark, and that doesn't do anything without having other components for spells.
2 odd questions. One, how good was Oswald at taking notes at who he sold to?
When Oswald sets up his stall, incredibly important note taking. Unfortunately, passing through a few days here, there wasn't anything formal here. He was doing some quick sales with the merchants in town. A lot of this is word of mouth. He doesn't have a precise ledger of sales here in Coppersbeck.
The second question is, this is more for you. Did you tell us about the substance you found, the woody smelling substance?
I was gonna wait until we kind of got back and settled in.
Some privacy stuff.
Then,
Show it to Gwynwyn. Not
I'm
yet.
gonna-
Put that note for later in your head.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head.
It's a secret tool we need later.
Oh my god.
It's
Don't see me.
They'll come down on us.
No,
I can reference Kingdom Hearts.
Mouse whenever I want.
One line from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh
I know
no,
one line.
that's on the
I've
internet
never
forever.
finished a second of
My
any of the
power.
games.
yeah, we just
Like
missed
57
torturing
hours
Amanda
manually
personally.
to get-
we all missed a perfectly clipped Mickey Mouse from our own DM because we
Nope.
It was her-
Nope. We're going back into the universe and
scope.
away from Disney.
Kingdom Hearts actually doesn't exist. It doesn't
Kingdom Hearts,
How
non-canonical.
dare you?
This-
Coming back in,
Going in.
heading into the manor itself. We've described a little bit about this. Looks like from the exterior. Well, this is a nobleman's home. You pass by through its front entryway. A few servants coming through. Not a lot of people awake at this time. Possibly a few of these people are already at the tail end of drinking or the start of hangover. They're right at that gray area. But the home is simple. There are lots of blue and gold accoutrement all around the home. You pass by a hall filled with...
I think I look at it and I give the blankest look to his meaning.
The home itself, you see there is a great hall that it has dozens of mounted deer and bears and other large creatures that have been hung from the sides in a massive hall. But where he takes you is more of like a war room, a room with a table in the center, some papers which he pushes to the side, and then gestures to Gwynwyn and to Silas, and to Thorn to place the painting atop the table. Still closed, to put the topic at hand.
did Lord Album ever see the painting?
He has never seen the painting. He has seen what the scene looked like as Silas was pulling down his dear friend.
Yeah.
Also, we can, in retrospect, we can do some retconning on the the state. There might have been a little bit of time for you to take carry the body. The body was carried somewhere to an infirmary or however you'd like to have handled that. We're sort of hand waving a little bit there.
That's perfectly fine. If it was presumed dead, then I unfortunately will leave it to the authorities, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
To be frank, there was a hole where his heart was when you removed him from the wall. If you'd like, you can join in at some point during this conversation. But in here, this has been a grisly evening for Coppersbeck. I know.
Go ahead.
I understand that you all want rest, and I promise my peace will be short. I believe we should determine swiftly what should be done with this painting.
If there's no one here who can cast magic on it, I think we should take it somewhere else. I don't think I'm scared that something will happen with this painting, that it will come back, that any of the magic might come back. Not sure, and I can't cast anything further to figure out what's happening. I think we should take it to your friend in the capital, who could probably do more magic with it and keep it safer.
To be frank, someone walked into a building, murdered 2 people, and then left a source of magic strong enough to devastate tens of guards, ensnare adventurers. I mean, imagine how much, like, more mayhem could unfold. If that person is... We have no... What leads do we have?
This painting, and that's it.
Ma'am, I don't believe you understand quite who Ugarod was.
He was an employee of the Crown. The Crown...
Ugarod was a warrior of the Calreed Assembly.
Oh.
Well, they are not officially knights. I would take him over a score of... I would rather face a score of my guards than to meet him in battle.
Album, does the phrase, "Where's my songbird," mean anything to you?
The best I can say is that near the capital, off the coast, there are dozens of small islands, and the tropics there do breed a number of colorful and varied birds. But I am... He kind of looks around the room, which you see now is adorned with a number of small portraits, paintings of what looks to be a veiled woman. There's different fabrics and such, but there's no, you can't actually see her face within them. I have never been one to paint birds. They are of little interest to me.
Do you think maybe the songbird doesn't literally mean a bird?
Perhaps
Maybe
a bard.
it's
A woman?
a woman or a loved one?
Particularly talented bard.
I can't say for certain, but it is not an unreasonable thing. We don't... What my guards here are less for investigating crimes, as there's typically not much crime in Coppersbeck, but specifically for defending the wall from those who may come from outside.
Have there been any recent arrests of any bards? Maybe they got a little unruly?
No bards. Most of our internal arrests are of the Ladrone boys.
Anyone gone missing in the town or nearby towns that you've heard of?
Yeah, any even attacks on the nearby towns? I know that there were some oddities. Some lost
Johann
shipments.
Johann has mentioned that Dunsmith, the shipments both for supplies for the Night of Light, as well as the dagger I commissioned, neither have arrived.
When you said you're from Walnut Hill, right? Anything weird there when you left?
No?
Okay.
Yeah, but multiple groups going missing or just... I'm concerned.
Silas, you're allowed to enter at this point.
I would like to think it's okay.
Yeah, I am concerned that obviously the Crown will want to itemize, figure out what's missing, figure out what has been sold. I'm concerned. I'm really concerned because this isn't an issue that's going to stay here. This is going to be an issue. Somebody's going to have to investigate.
I believe there are 4 paths before us.
Okay.
If it hit Dunsmith and it hit here, it would hit the next city.
What would be next on the path? I mean,
Walnut.
nothing
Walnut
happened.
Hill.
I'm
Right.
I'm sorry.
Nothing happened at Dunsmith, though. It's
We
only-
have-
Something weird is going on.
Well, it's only that people have traveled there.
Something weird happened
Given
here.
given what I've heard from Johann, my assumption with Dunsmith is that have been brigand attacks on the road.
Okay.
As such, I am intending to write a missive to the capital, perhaps to procure some mercenaries, or, more likely, if we are lucky, summon the Volcar.
What are the Volcar?
Ah,
You.
excuse me.
Reroll
You're
history checks.
yes, you're from Issel. If you'd like to, if do you want to roll them or have him explain?
I'd like to know, see if I know anything before.
As you may know, Eltz was once subjugated by the Vorux Empire, and when you are dominated by dragons, it is wise for your soldiers to learn to soar. The Volcar are an order of knights with enchanted magical armors that grant them wings. They are swift, they are mighty, and those warrior women have protected Eltz for generations. As he kind of describes them a bit, they are, just to kind of explain a little bit as he gives you a little bit of what he knows about them, they're warrior knights. They can fly. They tend to use spears, swords, and shields.
I have to say it now because I can't keep it in my brain. So you said women and I said girl boss.
Girl boss? What is it? Gaslight? Gatekeep girl boss.
Yeah.
Valkyrie, the original girl boss.
Oh my
Hey,
I mean, she did all three.
that's a funny word. That's very similar to the Volcar.
It's actually.
You really think
they're
I would
the
do that?
sisters.
Just go out there and
Yeah.
bastardize words?
Warhammer sisters.
Those are the
So
battle.
just to
Sisters in
clarify,
battle. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
They
sorry.
are. They're an order of knights, but just to clarify, they are not an order of paladins. They aren't a religious or divine order.
It's like the shepherds are kind of like. They
The
have
shepherd-
a purpose, but they're mixed in terms of like
Right.
class.
Yeah, in this case, they are explicitly knights that serve the kingdom of Eltz.
Okay.
They're not like, for example, the Legion, which serves Gren, or the Shepherds, which serve the Wilds. These are, they're military. They're a military elite unit.
I'm so sorry about the girl boss thing. I couldn't keep it in.
Girl boss, you heard it here.
oh my god. So we're all looking at the painting now. Does anyone have a
The painting is covered.
Okay.
No one has opened the painting because a dwarf will shoot them with fire, apparently.
Gwynwood is not letting anybody uncover the painting.
Man, I had to say it. I love the goggles.
Yeah,
So
they're very
cute.
nice.
We thank Alex for them.
Good job, Alex.
Yay, Alex.
Our man behind the camera is the best.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's not behind the camera. He's behind the.
Computer.
He's in front of the screen, but not this one.
Our man behind the scenes.
Whoa.
So if you'll allow me, I actually will try to go investigate the painting.
No.
I don't think
Gwynwood is
anyone
not
should
letting
touch me.
anybody uncover the
If
painting.
you want to look at the painting, I would prefer to leave the room
Right, we
I
don't
have-
want to have to
and
walk-
summon
am
my
very-
guards.
close to death, so
Maybe we can take a look at it tomorrow.
I think we do it
We'll
when
still
we're
be
in
there.
the presence of a wizard who could cast the spell magic.
give us a few levels.
Somebody who is a better wizard than the rest of us here. Someone who does more magic.
He's a very
because-
good wizard.
I want to be
He has to
careful about referring to too many specific spells that are higher level. You're aware that magic exists that defeats magic, but as a general rule, we'll try to avoid. You don't know all spells that exist. If they're higher level than yours, we'll talk about doing some rolling.
I
I think I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, if we're
to be
in
honest, it's
consensus,
been
I'm
a
not looking.
frankly traumatizing day.
May I, before I dismiss you,
Four options.
we attempt to destroy the painting, ideally shattering whatever's left. I am aware that the fire did not work, but there are more options at our disposal. I could, alongside with what is going on with Dunsmith, I could summon the Volcar, and when they arrive, they could either take it to the crown or destroy it. I could have someone bring it to the capital, as we have discussed, and bring it before Miss Perkins. Or, as we have a Callister, would you be capable of sealing away this magic?
I have to admit that I'm early in my studies and at the current moment not capable of sealing it away. However, selfishly, this is an extraordinary piece of arcane magic. The fact that this exists is a blight upon the face of the plane.
And now, you haven't gotten the sense of what the source of the magic is here.
Right.
If it isn't fiend, if it isn't specifically from an outsider, it's gonna be a lot harder with the Callister magics.
Correct.
Huh? Outsider is actually accurate to our
Really?
setting.
Is it fine?
Yes, outsider is what a person.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, and that's absolutely fine. Sometimes we may accidentally use the wrong terms for things. An outsider is a naturally occurring being from one of the outer planes. So angels, which form from the light of the upper planes like Mount Celestia, demons of the abyss, or devils of the nine hells. All of these are various forms of outsiders, as opposed to you all, which are known as materials.
That actually would bring up an interesting point in that I personally would like a little bit of time with the painting, and I'm willing to have somebody hold whatever weaponage they would like to me as I look at it.
I'll be there with her.
Because I would like to gather more information about this. I think that I understand that you want to bring in the strongest people that exist and bring them in and say, hey, we have this painting and it's very strong and we need, the strongest people we have. However, I also am worried about the person who did this originally coming back for it. Would it be sensible? I think it needs to go to the crown. I think it needs to go to the capital. Would it be possible to send it with people who are not necessarily as well known as the Volcar?
Perhaps us? I mean,
My
it's
thoughts.
an incredibly dangerous job.
Miss Alilier. L, as I was told. He kind of looks around at the room. Can I trust you to bring this to the capital?
Of course. What do you think I would do if the situation got dire? You know my name?
I do.
Then you know. And you have a Callister.
This older dragonborn man gives this sort of knowing nod. Very well. As I have said, go to the King's Prism within Eltz. Miss Perkins, ideally, Iris will be able to assist you.
Is there anything we should tell her to indicate she can trust us?
Takes a few steps over. As he does, you see him walk over to a small dresser that is underneath one of these windows. Huh?
No.
Are we good?
Yeah. Okay.
As he's looking through this, the room begins to fill with a blue light as on the fall equinox, the full moon is low, very low, almost at the horizon, coming in, cresting through the blue mists that surround the moon of the world we know. As moonlight fills the room, he opens the drawers, finds a bit of parchment, and begins scribing a letter, a simple note to Iris of the Calreed Assembly. A few moments later, he removes one of his gloves, revealing his scaled hands, which have in the center a burn. This burn, which is like there's a hard divot in the center. He takes a bit of wax and begins pouring it over his hands. Rather than using a bit of flame, you watch as he breathes a small spark to begin to melt the wax and presses his palm to seal the letter. He turns and places it on the table next to the painting. I believe this shall suffice.
Thank you. We set off after the... Yeah.
We can have the funeral tomorrow, if you would like.
This does actually raise an interesting point. Does Oswald have family that we should either send good or coin back to? Oh, sorry.
No.
I
I
thought
asked
we would-
him privately, so
Oh,
it's
I'm
very
asking
funny.
Alva. He knows them.
It is my
I
understanding,
love that.
Oswald, well, he does not have family. That he kind of turns his head. I was to understand there were 3 of you. Gwynwyn, Silas, and another.
He's already an Eltz.
We were traveling to meet him.
If you wish to take the cart, bring that along with you. What was his, I believe, would rightfully belong to you. If you would prefer to leave it here, we will do what we can to be respectful with what he has. Woof.
Same time. Oswald had a job to do, so I believe it's best we do it. So.
Very well. Your horses are in my stables. They've been well fed and they're well rested.
I think it's about time we get well fed and well rested.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we walk. Sorry.
Yeah. I think we dismiss ourselves and leave the room.
Absolutely. You guys want to start heading over to the Fickle Ferret?
As soon as we leave the manor and we're kind of in the quiet, I said, I'm not calling my moms. Don't die.
I believe it would be
Fair.
improper for them to know what's currently transpired in this event.
Yeah, I would be in so much trouble.
I'm
I'm not calling them.
So,
Don't call your moms. It would be really bad for me right now.
I mean,
Wait,
they'll
Moms?
tell your
Like-
mom.
who are your moms?
I have 2 moms.
That's
very
fine.
normal.
No, but who are your moms? Why would we be calling them?
I'm so tired and I have this horrible headache from
Wow.
From, like,
Immediately
dying.
begins power walking with her increased movement speed.
I'm just
Oh
so
my
tired. I can move 35 feet a turn.
Why
I'm
would
gonna
you
walk
keep
a little
calling
bit
for
fast.
You know how growing up you have friends and sometimes their mom or moms are really cool and sometimes their moms are like they would not. Did you experience corporal punishment as a child?
I have no idea where you're going
I
with this.
mean, I got hit with a wooden spoon every once in a while when I try to set the
Right.
kitchen on fire, but
Can you imagine a mom that could do that to a nation?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, gross hyperbole aside.
I'm a
She's
fan.
like, her moms are me.
Now, am I
I'm a
correct
fanboy.
in we're going to head to the Fickle Ferret, have a nice rest, and then go to the funeral in the morning?
Eat a sandwich
Yes.
and
Yeah.
sleep
Yeah.
Then,
immediately.
if you don't mind, I was going to ask Ismini a question on the way there.
Right.
Pulling her aside.
sure, we're going to have that question, then we're going to go to break here.
I just wanted to explain that I'm a fanboy and that's what's happening right now.
Y'all seem to be from up north. Do you mind telling me what city you're from?
I can't hear this, so I'm gonna just not make faces.
I don't know the name of the actual city where the Solstice Citadel is.
You were born in the estate of the Callisters near Solstice Citadel.
Okay.
It's accurate to just simply say you're from the Nails.
Oh, cool. I am from the Nails in Issel.
Unfortunate. I was hoping for someone from Calberth to find some information there. It's where Oswald was from. I was hoping to find out what he would prefer at death.
Well, can I roll a history check for the information I do know?
No,
What's a
Dying.
You can't do die.
I can.
Now I need to know if it's from
Only
Calberth
us-
or New Calberth.
New Calberth is Calberth.
I know, but like.
With that, we're gonna go on break, and when we come back, we're gonna have a bit of a funeral. So get ready for that, everybody. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, I think we are up. All right, welcome back. All right, you've had a nice long rest. Make sure you've noted off all of that stuff.
Long rest.
You've had your long rest. All of your things come back, and yes, your arcane ward is filled. Is meaning.
I wanted to ask for one thing, is to swing back over to the shop and put up an alarm.
Yes, that's absolutely fine.
Thank
It would not. You are within the. I believe it's a mile range for that.
In 30 sessions, we're gonna be like coming back through.
I think
only
that
lasts
only
8
lasts. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. I was gonna guess a day.
meaning,
Yeah.
I promise I know alarm.
All right. With your long rest behind you, though the quality of sleep may not have been great for some of you over the long night, unfortunately, as you head down the stairs in the Fickle Ferret, there is no delightful breakfast waiting. Moral is hung over somewhere else. You were left to your own devices this morning, able to fend with what rations and bit of food you want to, if you want to steal some out of the kitchen.
I'm gonna go in the kitchen and hop on the grill and make some food for everyone.
You want to cook breakfast?
Yeah.
You got cook tools proficiency? All the stuff you need is here.
I do actually.
Okay. Now this is going to be, I will allow this to be either an intelligence or dexterity. And then it's going to add to your proficiency bonus.
Okay, we'll go Dex.
Your knowledge of ingredients or your, skill working them.
16.
A 16? Hey, it's a pretty nice breakfast. You want to make something in particular?
Bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs. See, you can make bacon and eggs. That's absolutely fine. You have a nice, simple little breakfast together. It's quiet at first. Anything major going on here within the party?
I think Meanie and Gwynwyn are talking about who's carrying what wolfsville.
Yeah.
So we have 8 doses left.
Right.
Can I make this
Again.
easy?
Yeah.
You have 8.
Yeah. 4.
No, because they need to have some as well.
No. It needs
I'll
to
take
be
one.
6.
I need my bonus actions.
It's an action, and it takes a minute.
I also need my actions.
I'll take one. Just one.
1. Silas, do you want any?
Okay.
I was gonna say 2 for Silas, so being it.
I think I'm gonna die.
I'll take 3.
Great.
4. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna real quick do a DM thing because my players have difficulty with numbers on occasion. Everyone has 1 wolf's will. That's
Great.
5.
Great.
You get 2 extra.
Oh, I get 1.
That's 7. You get 1 extra. That's 8.
I have 3 total.
Great.
Great. No, I have 2 total.
2 total.
No, you have 3 total.
You need to know.
Okay, I have 3 total.
I'm giving you 2, and you're giving her.
Elle's
Great.
giving me 1, so I have.
Okay.
Want to know a fun fact over breakfast? I don't
Alright.
call them sunny side up eggs. I call them buttercup eggs.
If Silas was downstairs, there's something wrong with you. Silas hasn't come downstairs yet.
Oh, okay.
I say this to an uninterested audience. I'm like, here's a wolf's will. Fun fact.
Gwynwyn,
Don't
if
ask
you'd
me
like
about
to
my
have
balls.
fashioned something for carrying the painting now that it's been wrapped up, a couple bits of leather from some supplies nearby to have it so you can just toss it over or strap it to a bag, that's not a problem.
I have an idea. I don't know if it'll do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a certain flower that Matthew knows what I'm referring to. I'm gonna tuck it into the folds of the blankets that are swaddling the painting. I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything. Too low level. But maybe. And he's making a face.
It's an orange flower. Do we describe, I believe?
I have a description right here. It's an orange-red closed tulip.
Excellent. She tucks this small flower.
Right here.
She tucks this small flower within the folds. You're confident it's secured enough where it's not going to get lost. Your DM's not going to mess with you in that way.
I'm confident it does something.
It is a small glowing flower. So take with that what you will.
When you said flour, I thought you were talking about baking flour.
100%.
No,
Just
it's
make it.
a-
I actually
it's
had
a
a cooking
tulip with
proficiency
no
and I
s-
let you do it anyway.
It's an orange-red glowing tulip with no stem and just, there's, this tiny little glow that's eking out between the petals.
Little sprinkle too.
Please don't take it, guys. Please don't take it.
I don't want your stupid flour.
I don't want your dumb flower anyway.
I see you put random stuff into your pockets all the time, mister.
And this is
Oh,
when
you,
I walk
you
downstairs.
see
and
everything I
stuff,
put in my pockets?
There is going to be a funeral at high noon. Do you have anything you need to do this morning? You want to make your preparations to if you want to gather up everything you need and prep the cart for afterwards. What is your plan from here? Are you intending to leave after the funeral, or is there anything else you're wanting to do here in Coppersbeck?
I think leave after the funeral because we don't want to hang around in case the person who made the painting / put the painting here comes back.
I think we're gonna have to stay on the move.
Yeah.
So it has I assume it's. But I understand that it's possible for someone to track powerful magic.
Yes, but assuming Gwynwyn has told you, something about this has made it difficult for divination magic to detect. So if someone was searching actually for it, that wouldn't work very well.
Okay.
Unless they were stronger than it.
Have you
I've-
shared it?
I shared what I found with Identify.
I feel like the people that make powerful magical things tend to be stronger than the powerful magical things they make.
I also have a suggestion that we strap it to the bottom of the cart.
Ooh.
So that if we do
You
go
need someone like talented at making things to do that.
Right. We would need to strap it to the bottom of the cart and protect it from random inspection, potentially, and also from somebody rifling through quickly.
Yeah.
If you want to spend the morning, if you want some extra supplies, Lord Album can provide you basic wood, leather, nails, tools, just for getting that set up. If you want to make a small compartment within the, rather than, would you prefer it to be underneath or a hidden compartment at the bottom of this?
Underneath, because I believe, being suspicious and superstitious, that
Alternatively-
people will look for hidden compartments before they look under something.
So Silas, just to make sure you're aware, there is already a hidden compartment. It's where the lockbox goes, but the lockbox itself is relatively small. It's about this big because it contains coins and gems if money's really going well. There's a small lockbox that you're able to unlock, but the hidden compartment where this goes, which is underneath where you sit to hold the reins, that's too small for the painting.
And I'll just share that at night, what I'll do is set up an alarm around the cart itself, because you can do like a line. So if somebody goes into the cart or starts poking around the cart, we should be warned about it. And that way we can try to protect it both by hiding it and also setting up the alarms at night.
Then Gwynwyn will work on making it for underneath the cart.
Great, not super difficult. That's absolutely doable. And it would be something because of the cart, the sides come down a little bit lower, even just if someone just casually looked under, they wouldn't notice it. They'd have to, what's under here? Like really be looking, they'd have to be looking to see the bottom of the cart. That's not a problem at all. If you'd like to set that up. Is that fine, or would you like to move on, would we like to move on along for that?
You know, the
Something
only-
else?
I'm curious if we all touch base, because we all saw a little bit of differences last night. You both moved away. Just curious. If we
You did
wanna-
mention that you wanted to tell him about the residue.
No, I wanted to tell Gwynwyn about it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's so weird.
Gwynwyn will take it, but
Chunky.
wait until we're on the cart traveling
Sure,
to
yeah,
start
I'll just
looking at
give
it.
it
Great.
to you. Before we leave, I specifically want to go back to the
The low prism?
Yeah, the low prism, and just see like are there guards around, and if there aren't, I want to go in and.
There's some guards stationed, but they'll let you go in. The party itself is known for what they've done. They helped the city with Johann, and they've immediately, on the night of the festival, the way the story's been told as you're walking through, people are describing it that you saved the guards and the lord of the city. A little apocryphal, but
I
Are
just
they using our names?
they're not using anyone's last names, if that's what your question is.
I,
Also, almost everyone knows you as L.
Good.
I'm so happy that we didn't get blamed for it, or blamed for hurting guards.
That was entirely, I have to say, props to you, Victoria. You running to get the guards immediately really
Right.
helped with some roles behind the scenes.
I used my only Misty Step once a day ability so that I could get there faster, because I did not want us to get blamed for this. I'm so happy.
Shit.
There.
I just want to give the place another once over.
Okay.
Just check, see if maybe we missed something, anything like that.
My questions. Are you looking for anything in particular? And are you trying to steal and pocket anything valuable?
I don't want to steal anything. I just want to see if I can find anything extra.
Give
It's
me,
mini
I will let
kidnap.
you roll another investigation check. Normally we don't re-roll this, but now it's during the day. Things have changed. It's during the day. Some things have been moved around by guards. You see that
now
the
that
bodies are
Exactly.
missing.
Now the bodies are gone.
Give me an investigation check.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna say it. There's something really pricey in there. I couldn't take it as a lawful character, but
Jake is such a thief as a player normally
I know.
that playing someone this lawful has been a struggle. I'm enjoying it.
But he's been doing it.
He's been doing really well.
Steal shit.
Phenomenal.
I don't want to kill people. I
Now,
just
Connor,
wanna steal shit.
how did Thorn do?
13.
With a 13, looking around, I'm gonna give you one thing. Kind of looking over what you saw from the other night. You were aware of one thing that didn't make much sense. This person went in through the back door because the front door was locked. But when you arrived, the front door had been unlocked. Whoever did this walked out of the front door and left. It's the only note I'm going to give because it's a pretty low roll.
Yeah.
I just wish I was a clear with 3rd level magic right now. So bad.
Yeah, can we just be level 20?
No, I just want to get to 3rd level magic as a cleric so I can cast Speak with the Dead.
I want to do something in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do things.
No 5K this time though, right?
Yeah, no fight. No,
She's a different kind of
I've read a
hangover.
mile. Like, don't get me wrong. My mom's taught me training. So having bounced back somewhat, determined to make the best of it, I'm gonna go see Haldo in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, we've seen her in
Asking
the
some-
same spot every single morning.
Okay. Now I will say, she is going to be working for doing some protection for the funeral. If you want to ask some guards, you can go to her home if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I just want to like swing by, have a super quick combo.
Absolutely. Asking around, it takes you a little bit of time. This is gonna be used up most of your time before the funeral. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
this is the one thing I want to do, and then I'm gonna go
Then-
follow his meanie around.
It takes you a little bit asking around. You don't have to you don't have to pass on any coin if you don't want to, but due to your deeds the previous few days, you were able to get her location. She's located just near the workshop where you know Brian Scuffs works. It is early in the morning, and you smell cinnamon as someone appears to have gotten up this morning to do a bit of baking, a contrast to the grisly night she had before.
I very politely knock at the front door. Yeah.
A few moments later, calming the dog down so she doesn't bark.
Ready to go.
I habitually don't knock.
It's because we
my
think of
dog.
dogs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't knock
If you-
or
It takes a few moments before you see opening up, hair pulled back. You see sort of one section of it has been tied to one of her horns to keep it from falling in her face. You see a tiefling woman. Now outside of her armor, she looks, everyone looks a little less vulnerable when they're wearing full chainmail, but she looks like any other commoner that you could see here having a relaxing time in Coppersbeck. Oh, hello, Elle.
Hi.
Has something happened? She like begins to looking
No,
over
no,
towards
no,
where
no.
her weapons might be or something.
And actually, as she does that, I kind of want to make an insight check to gauge like how genuine her reaction is. Like we haven't really looked. into her
Sure. You
much.
want to get a sense of like her. Oh my god. Okay.
That's gonna be a math 20.
There wasn't concern in her eyes when she saw you at first, but you said hello, and like her gears started turning. Why would you be here? And it seems that this is the kind of person who the first thing they come to is, there's danger, I should go help.
Perfect. Sorry to interrupt you in the morning.
No, it's
I
fine.
came on behalf of someone else, giving a big smile. We're gonna leave town for a bit, but I'm hoping that we'll be passing back by this way eventually, and if you ever need us, we'll probably be in Eltz. You can probably just ask around for the Callister. Or the Arendral.
Oh,
I have to finish my run, but
there's a funeral today.
I know. I'm extremely. This is me dealing with being upset about it, actually. So
Okay, you admit you've asked a weird thing? Can I ask a weird thing?
yeah, go ahead.
Is it wrong for me to ask for someone to do my hair today? Is that I don't know the normal etiquette.
I was always told that we should look nice whenever we want to.
Okay.
Also, I think your hair would look really great in a braid.
Is that something people like in the north?
Maybe a few folks.
The tiefling gives a quick blush before. Well, I have to prepare myself for the day.
Oh,
and
yes, of course. Also,
I
what are you baking?
they're scones. Would you like some?
I'll take maybe 2.
She comes back, and as she steps back, opens the door up. She doesn't let you into her home, but she has this small little. It's a soft linen pouch, which there are a trio of cinnamon scones that have been put into them. She pulls the string back to tie it. It's kind of like a coin purse, only made of a little nicer material. You can see it looks like someone has done a little tiny bit of embroidery on it, and it just has. It's a stick of butter on a plate.
Amazing.
And she hands you just this little bag of treats.
Thank you. A question for a friend. Is Holdo your first name or your last name? You don't understand how hard it is to stay in character when they're like giggling.
I have a girlfriend.
Ella's like, get is me late. Mission 1.
Uptight.
She's very uptight. Yeah.
Sight.
I have to court her for 2 years now.
What are you, an elf?
What are you, an elf? Gosh.
Oh, that takes longer.
She kind of looks at you. Holdo is my first name.
Cool.
You have a wonderful day.
Bye.
I was waiting to say my not for long joke and finger gun at you with the last name. Dang it.
I'm going to maybe go share some scones and go like, guess who I ran into on my run this morning?
Who did you run into?
Holdo, and she was asking some questions about you. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I know we have a big mission and things are getting really upsetting all the time. And I don't like that, but maybe when we're done with the big mission, we could chill out for a bit. Take the leisurely way home. Maybe a vacation here.
Would it be inappropriate to become pen pals? Or is this too soon?
I think pen pals is like a minimum.
Okay.
Holdo is her first name.
Wonderful.
She bakes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we're just gonna come back here. I'm not gonna offer you anything. We're just going to do it, and I feel like you're just gonna come, regardless. Cool.
I'm
So
being
lovely to
bullied
watch you
into having a
make friends
girlfriend.
with the locals.
You need to let loose a little bit.
It's D&D. That's like 30% of the game at some tables.
30% of the game is finding a girlfriend, and I love it.
I mean, is it Dungeons and Dragons not a dating sim?
No, it is.
Okay, thank you.
All my characters end up dying alone.
You have a wife!
Choose that. Last character you made had a wife.
That was an accident.
Well, let's move on.
I punched you so much.
We'll move on a little bit past.
Okay, back
We'll
to
talk
the
a little bit
funeral.
more about those other things. Yes, we're going to jump into the funeral
I'm sorry
that is
for making it
happening.
lighthearted
Right.
before the funeral.
Truly, I only had one thing for the funeral, which was I'm gonna make sure nobody brings a lantern.
So that's actually a very important, a very interesting thing that's happening here. The procession has a very clear and common trend that actually will happen. If we're okay moving ahead towards that, several individuals from the village, people who may have drank or played cards with Oswald, or as well as, of course, as several people who knew Ugarod. Both of them sort of outcasts here. We were being distracted by our man behind the screen.
I have the hair shield
Yeah.
protect me.
This is why I look
Though there's
this way.
a group of people who are following along the procession. There is, before this starts, there is given out a collection of lanterns. These lanterns do not have oil or wax, but what happens here is that they're carrying these glass lanterns with them. And as the individuals march through the streets, a slow chant in Celestial is being given by one of these small priests here. They're singing a prayer to Lathander, a prayer to the Nine. And with the Morning Lord's prayer here, as you're brought before this small cemetery, as each person crosses the thresholds, they take the lantern and shatter it before entering the grounds. The coffins carrying the two departed men are brought into the grounds. The holes prepared as the priest continues his prayer. These long, droning, but they're kind sounds. If any of you would like to say anything, you may. But of course, there's under no obligation. The ritual of the shattering of the lanterns complete, it is certain his soul has been able to pass. If you have anything you'd like to say, that's great. If any of you have any questions as to, if anyone doesn't know, if anyone would like to make any checks about what's going on, that's also, of course, fine.
Do I kind of know the context to the lanterns?
Sure, but do you want it explained?
That'd be great.
Sure. I was like,
Thank you.
I was like,
It's weird to smash lanterns at a
I
funeral.
think I imagine
We would know.
we would
Yes.
know the
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
there-
But for Rexy and
one of the
Eltz.
one of the great villains of Gren long ago was a man known as the Pilferer of Souls. A horrible wizard who some people called him the Great One, though a bit ostentatious if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure.
He sealed the souls of many who died within a horrible magic lantern. And ever since, it has been customary to shatter lanterns to help guide your friends to their death, that no man, woman, or child ever be bound again.
He
Was
was
it-
thwarted, though.
He was what?
He was thwarted. Like,
He was absolutely thwarted
He was
by the
thwarted.
Guardians of the Silver Dawn.
However, that was horrible what he was doing, and no lanterns will exist in my presence at a funeral.
Yeah, no lanterns.
That was
Alright.
evil
if we see a
magic.
giant lantern, I'm not going in it
Yeah,
again.
lanterns are bad. Silas, did you have anything you wanted to do here?
I'm not gonna say anything at the funeral, but as everyone trickles out, I will be hanging back. And then once everyone's finally locked away, I would like a moment by the grave.
Absolutely.
And finally, when I see no one's around, no one's within a shot, there was a little figurine I've got recently, and I know that a certain friend of mine had a collection. So I pull out a wizard figurine and I leave it on his grave. And I head back to my party after saying a short prayer to the night.
Do you want to put his two there as well, or leave, or are you keeping that? It's up to
He
you.
left him in the lockbox where he kept everything important to him. I never touched it.
Okay.
That's still important to him.
Okay. As we move on from the funeral, Jake, go ahead and just remember you have DM inspiration.
I don't want it.
No.
Stop killing people we like.
No.
You know what this means? This is gonna come up in session 100.
I would never.
Don't you dare.
Silas, thinking
You take your moment.
dagger into the heart of the PPG.
They're laid to rest. During the funeral, before Silas places this down, you hear a few words spoken here or there. Those who talked about Oswald being kind, being heavy-handed when offering coin, and poor at measuring when receiving it. It doesn't seem that people here knew him terribly well, other than a kind man who was fun to bet against and was a hell of a drinker. But as you two know, he was a good mentor figure for you to have, and now you're with the cart ready, a pair of horses at its head. You all seem ready to leave Coppersbeck, if you'd still like to.
Do we see Aldo?
You did see, wearing a long braid hooked around one of her horns and belted into this small brooch. There's this arcing sort of braid. It's very structured. A simple black dress. People aren't very wealthy. Fancy clothing is a very big symbol of nobility, but there was a very, very real reverence, a kind nod to you while you were there. Nothing inappropriate, but she did take a moment. Well, she was not familiar with Oswald. She did speak on Ugarod and his bravery, and that he had protected the city in previous times of need.
Sorry. Aren't braids like totally your type? Like I'm sorry, just but at the last solstice ball.
I am being tormented daily.
Perhaps
with me?
this is your punishment.
This may actually be.
Maybe you died. Maybe the painting killed you.
This is my eternal punishment. No, not
Rexy
that
all
again.
figments of his meaning.
Yeah, this is just my imagination punishing me
Who's
for
red?
eternity.
This is an inappropriate place. Pen pals.
I will, before leaving town, be assured that I have the correct address for pin pallage.
Yes, to be flashed back into the future, the request for her address. You are able to stop and speak a few words. Those words are your own.
I was gonna say, can I get your number?
Yes, you
have it.
can have it. Excellent. Is there
Look,
anything
roll back
else?
to 2008. Let's go.
I was.
Having spoken
So was she.
Having spoken with the appropriate individuals here, are you ready to depart Coppersbeck? Painting in tow, hidden beneath the cart.
Nice.
Go see a man about a painting.
Oh no.
A woman.
I think we're seeing a woman.
Woman.
We're saying a woman.
It seems
about a
like
painting.
Eltz has a lot of
Sorry.
like powerful women, which makes me think I'm gonna fit right in. It's gonna be
it's,
just like
it's actually a
home.
crazy
Yeah, it don't
thing.
go to your head
I
at all.
just
I mean, it's just gonna be just like home. Powerful women everywhere.
when you make characters, you just and this is a crazy concept. If they're supposed to be cool, you can't just make them men. That's bad.
Wow.
I know. Hot takes with Matthew.
Hot take. Not all cool characters are men.
What this actually means is that the world we know is filled with girl bosses.
Okay, then what went wrong with Al?
Alright, roll initiative, man. Let's go.
Jake, you can't have two.
This is
Moving on.
Before we left, did
Yes.
this album give the party anything for?
You have the letter.
The letter.
That is specifically asking.
He didn't
It's,
give us,
it's
like,
for
money.
her.
Just saying, didn't
did
give
we-
us any like reward or anything for guarding.
He did pay you. Like you were paid from the city's coffers like 4 days ago.
Right.
Quite a bit of money.
Also,
Additionally, you received all of the wealth of Oswald, which
gonna say.
now technically you're the only one who has access to that. So I can write that for you if you'd like.
If you don't
Tell
mind.
me
I'm
that
gonna-
Thorn can't pick a lock.
more specifically, I was going to say that we have all of the goods
Not
that
yet.
need to be sold.
Exactly.
No, we do.
We do have
Thieves' tools.
I don't think you'll understand. This is turning into a merchant campaign.
I was gonna
We're
say-
about to be merchants.
Are we gonna be
Merchant-
capitalists?
Just a Khajiit campaign.
merchant simulator is what I was going to say, but
I mean,
Rich.
ideal campaign. So,
Okay.
like, I
As,
don't know what you're all joking about.
as we begin heading off, a couple things are going to happen. You begin to take the southeastern road, the King's Road, towards Eltz. I'm going to first ask for our dear friend Connor to roll me a d20 as we hit the road. And Amanda, would Gwynwyn like to make an alchemist tools check to examine that residue?
Yeah. Wait, which one do you want?
One of the bad ones.
this one.
Oh,
You're rolling one of the bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
you're poison.
Here's. I was gonna say get one of my metal.
We're
dice.
using the bad dice.
Use a peach.
Watch him hit a 20. because
Peach
it's
one's
not-
very cute.
It's bad.
No.
5.
Wow, that was literally all of you. Amanda, what was that?
23.
A 23? Excellent. You think for a moment, turn your head 90 degrees, look into you just look into the back and pick up a small container of sand willow bark. This is a magical reagent. One of the things that these trees grow in the dim wood valley near where you grew up, and where one of the things that you collected and actually gave to Oswald for his caravan.
And you're saying that Oswald didn't keep. Out of character, I don't know this. He didn't keep good notes of what he sold in town whenever he wasn't at a stall.
No,
That's why.
the sales were small. He sold less than a quarter of his goods, and nothing of that was the really expensive stuff.
I want
But
to say
he
this
did
now.
sell sandalwood there.
I do want to say this now because we've left town that none of us that had knowledge of this bark stuff went to Quill.
Nope.
I was really.
I'm so mad.
Oh,
I would have known.
Yeah.
We're out of town now, though.
I got knocked unconscious twice here. I saw a man die.
What do you think about wood?
I don't know
I
what bark.
don't like this place. I would like to leave.
So really, it's Thorn's fault. Is what we're walking away from.
Let's blame Connor.
As
Yeah,
we were walking
blame the drow.
away,
Blame the drow. It's
Now,
fine.
actually, that's a good point that you mentioned walking. The cart itself, because it's so loaded, you can put you can have someone. You can have some people in there with all the luggage, with all of the cargo, but it's pretty uncomfortable. 2 people can sit in the front. Unfortunately, Silas,
I'm too happy.
if you sit in there and anyone else is, it's going to start being the point where the horses are going to struggle. You have Merlin and Rada.
No, perfectly fine. I walk my ass here. I'll walk myself forward.
I'll walk outside the cart as well.
I did have the question of, again, sandwood?
Is it sand?
It's
Sand
Sand
willow.
willow.
It's sand willow bark.
Sand
great.
willow. Okay, don't listen to me.
Described due to its
Guys.
light colored. The big difference is it's a very light colored material, and when ground to a fine powder, it almost has a sand-like texture.
Does
As
it?
we start on our journey out, I think we should talk to them.
Okay.
It sounds like we're going to be traveling together for at least a bit.
Yeah, Eltz is days away.
So we're vaguely important.
I'm not.
You're very important.
Both
and you
are
come
called
from an
lady.
important family.
Vaguely might be a
You've
little
never been
strong.
called
to be
lady.
honest.
Secret
I have
man.
never been called lady. You both have been called lady. That's a
Just
title.
because I'm fancy. But also because I'm
Just to be
noble.
clear, usage of lady in a non-noble sense is very rare, unless you're, let's say, hitting on someone at a bar. It's pretty atypical.
So, Thorn has said it.
I say it all the time.
Thorn actually gets
Every
called
night.
lady all the time.
So we'll turn it on your head.
We come from vaguely important families. I have moms of some importance and power, but I can't call them because I can't,
Fair.
and I won't. I would rather nearly die on the ground, at which point is Mimi's allowed to call them.
That
And
has happened twice in 5 days.
I just mean like when I'm like going to die, like I need like a revivify or some sort of like bringing back from the dead.
So you mean like
situation.
you've actually died?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
die,
Oh, okay.
like please call my moms.
Okay, after you die.
Or my uncle, or my aunts.
I would like to make it very clear. Revival magic is incredibly expensive and incredibly rare.
Right. You just said I have a lot of money.
When that happens, and y'all aren't capable of handling it.
When?
Sorry. Track record.
I mean, yeah.
You
There's
are
a
in the
dead-
RP.
You're right.
We'll need to set a button so that when it happens, we can flash back this image in black and white.
If I die, then you can call my family. Any aunt, any uncle, any moms, any cousins, whatever. Your parents, your siblings, whatever.
Siblings.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe. What? That he wouldn't.
Whispering.
Ward. His ward wouldn't tell anyone because he's good at keeping secrets.
Responsible one. A year from now, will they hunt us down for trying to kidnap you for apparently
Oh no, we're not
helping
kidnapped.
transport you? I'm assuming illegally.
We're not
No,
gonna be
no.
in trouble for this one, right?
What was the result on
I
that?
mean, you might be eventually because of my own.
What was your
actions.
result on the
I think,
D20
like,
check?
Parents
Roll
aren't
a
going to be
5.
mad at us.
All
they
right.
don't care.
It is at this point.
Oh wait.
I want to take a moment and thanks, guys. We just hit the sub goal.
Oh shit!
Do we
That's
want
so-
Holy shit!
Nice.
Right
Thank
now?
you, everyone.
Can we unlock Thor?
I can go do it right now.
We have to push a button?
I can do it right now.
That's super
I'll be
exciting.
right back. Sorry.
Yes, I banished thee. Something great's gonna happen in a moment. Huge news. Thank you guys so much for your support. There's going to be a very fun. Do we have your? I wish I had my tankard here to hand to you to replicate
Thank you,
it.
Sentinel 5. You made me so
Aw, a dear friend of ours. Love you to death.
Let's get tankards.
How old?
Tankards are great. I have a tankard. It's my favorite.
I have a form of a tankard.
I guess that's fair.
I have a Tegra glass.
That's,
I promise it was going somewhere.
there was someone in the chat talking
By the
about
way.
how they were a huge fan of the glasses. By the way, Chloe.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it our?
I think it was.
Bad whispering. Let's
You didn't whisper.
let's jump into what I actually this 5 gave
What I was
us.
gonna say
Oh,
is
please
we
do.
should trust each other, and I think that we should all communicate clearly. I don't like secrets, and I think that we should be frank and forward with one another, and that's
Can
all
I
I was
still
gonna
be
say.
Thorn?
I was just gonna ask you.
You know, actually, I do want to go
Pointed.
home. Never mind. Turn the card around.
This cart is moving forward to Eltz. If you
Okay,
want
now
to
you
go
can
home,
do
you have
that.
to
This
sorry.
road. Now, Silas and Gwynwyn, you traveled the road that led to Eltz that was connecting between the Vorax Empire and
Just
Eltz.
trying to be.
It was okay. It was small. The King's Road here is very well maintained in a lot of places.
No, it's still fair.
It's unlocked.
It's unlocked?
Post it.
Yeah.
Post it.
Excellent.
Slot 2 is Story's cheer.
We should now, yes, you should now be able to give a cheer, a cheers, a toast, or just drink alongside our dear adventurers here. Ahead of you, however,
Thank you.
there's a portion of the road that appears a bit strange. The ground itself dips, going about 35 feet down, and as such, a stone bridge about 20 feet wide is in front of you. The bridge itself appears in a miserable sort of state. There look to be some scorch marks nearby, and one of the pillars that supports one of the sides has been fractured and is now lying at the bottom of the ravine. I say ravine, 35 feet. Cliff, the divot in the road. This allows you to continue going southeast. As the party is approaching, you're still about 50-ish feet out from there. Anybody doing anything as we're heading towards the bridge?
How deep is the ravine?
It's about 35 feet. So it's a bridge that's holding things up from this kind of divot in the ground. It's sort of a natural canyon that looks to extend a few hundred feet in one direction before leading directly into thick wood. And the other direction, you don't see an end as it widens out. It's pretty steep, however, so getting the cart down is going to be quite difficult, though not impossible.
Okay. If you know what, I'm gonna just walk ahead over the bridge. I weigh probably more than the cart does at this point.
Cart's over 1,000 pounds, but
Oh, math is hard.
it is. It's a fairly large cart, and it's being drawn by 2 horses for a reason. As you proceed along the way, heading towards the bridge, you hear a loud, booming voice. Toll! As a big, tan, almost pinkish-skinned hand clasps the less damaged size and begins climbing up this huge-sized humanoid creature. You see he's wearing a strap of leather on one's shoulder, which goes over, and the thick layers and folds of fat as this kind of looks like a humanoid creature stands up nearly 15 feet tall and moves towards the center of the bridge. Pay the toll.
Can I do something as soon as I see like a hand?
Yes.
Hey, Gwynwyn, help me out. And I'm gonna cast Grease
No.
where the hand is.
We're not even gonna try and, I don't know, barter?
No talking, I guess.
Made of money.
You are made of money.
Not literally. I'm made of flesh.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we die here.
In this case,
Oh no.
I'm gonna need all y'all to roll for initiative.
Is this why I keep dying?
Yes.
Gwynwyn, actually, I have to ask, do you cast Grease, or do you have any checks you should make? I should have asked that question beforehand, because she doesn't determine if you cast the spell.
She's casting grease.
She's casting Grease, right?
And I said,
Oh,
like, Gwynwyn, help me out.
Oh, help her out. Misunderstood.
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
meant like there's 2 hands. So there could be 2 grease balls.
Yeah.
It's up to Gwynwyn what she
Why
does.
is
thought you were
Thorn the
about
most reasonable party
He's
member?
not.
Gwynwyn, you're holding the reins?
Yes,
Is that-
I'm
I would
holding the
determine?
Y'all do.
Thank you, actually. I am the most reasonable. I appreciate that.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm very, very for this. You're fully rested. Let's do this.
I'm just
What is the range on Grease?
60 feet.
60 feet? Great. So you'll, because the bridge itself is like 40 feet long, you're close. You have to be close-ish to the bridge to do this. Is that fine with you? Perfect. We're gonna go ahead to go to that initiative check. Now, I will tell you this. It is surprised and did not expect for you to attack it
I didn't
before it had done
expect
any
it.
hostile
It
action.
was more of like a prank.
It's about to fall 40 feet. You just did attempted murder.
Wait. You have to wait. I have more tricks up my sleeve.
That's premeditated attempted murder.
She meditated on it.
We
This is
call
where Thorn
it.
reveals he was a cop the whole time. And he's like, you're going in.
Not very dexterous.
We call this murder 1.
Does a 15 succeed?
Yeah, very lucky for him.
Let's go ahead and let me get those initiative rolls. I
had a plan.
Yeah.
It's called
How'd it go?
Featherfall, okay?
Were you going to save him? Then you would have no spells
Yeah,
for
and
the
I would be
rest
like,
of the
oh my
day.
gosh, we saved you. And lied. Yeah.
Thorn.
15.
Oh.
Silas.
It's 15 as well. My dex bonus is +1.
Same.
It's a roll off. We'll keep going. Will they figure out who's first?
8.
8 for Gwynwyn.
16.
16.
Are we just going off of the die or
Yes, you just not.
16?
12. So you go first.
Me first. No. Finally.
I'm so sorry, but it's 21.
Never mind.
I have.
Boom, 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 boom.
Do I not have friend?
Sorry.
So well, though.
Ismini, L. Sorry, L is Meanie, Thorn, Silas, and then Gwynwyn is the slowest for players. What I have here.
Yep.
Okay. So, surprise round happens. Actually,
Does it,
Yeah, so-
does it know that I cast grease?
yes.
Okay.
Magic is
No,
not
it's
subtle
okay.
unless you're very specifically talking about it. And
That's
even then, it is a very difficult thing to do. You have cast the spell, and it is fumbling with this big creature's not currently up on top yet. Ella, it is your turn. The caravan is. Are we stopping? Well, on your turn, we'll decide. But
And I go, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I cast Featherfall.
he didn't fail to save.
I know, just in case. And I'm gonna cast it on all of us,
Oh god.
including the creature. Just in case.
Make a deception check
Oh,
with
yeah.
disadvantage.
Could I use Connor's lucky dice? What is my deception?
It's gonna be the first one.
No, I have
Double 20s.
No, it's gonna be 2 ones.
Hey, I hate to say this. Featherfall is 5 creatures.
1, 2, 3, 4, plus elf, right?
No,
5.
No, it's
5.
5.
1,
creatures.
2, 3, 4,
the creature.
5.
Excuse me.
4. So, I'm a bad liar.
Okay, it is your turn, Elle. You've cast Featherfall. Now, I'll admit, normally it's a reaction when you see fallen creatures. That's fine.
Cool.
The concept is still the same. It's active for a minute, I believe.
Yeah.
And are you continuing to sit in the cargo of the ship? Or of the
And-
ship, wow.
Just like, oh, Featherfall.
Oh my god.
Ismini.
Oh, my action? Hold an action. I've already used my reaction for the turn, so I can't. Never mind. I'm good.
Oh my
Sorry, I
god.
have to go through- Guys!
Ismini,
All over the place.
do you have any checks you'd like to make?
How long is the bridge? How far away from the bridge
The-
are we? How fast are the horses going? Are we going to be able to make it across in a relatively quick manner?
The horse-drawn carriage is slower than people.
Great.
It's about 25. It's roughly dwarf. It's because you're not rapidly moving as fast as you can. Horses have a movement speed of 40. They move at half speed while burdened, so it's 20 feet actually.
It's canon now. Horse-drawn carriage moves the speed of a dwarf. A mile per hour.
We're hurt.
So the bridge is 40 feet long. It's in the center of the bridge, 20 feet out. You guys are a total of about 50 to 60 feet away from it, so you guys are about 25 to 30 feet away from the bridge. Remember, let's not get too into the nitty-gritties.
Yeah.
I don't know if I cast mage armor on the day of a funeral.
If you're not sure, the answer is
So
no.
I think I cast mage armor.
you power up, brief moment of that shield, and your ward is active.
Yeah.
It is Thorn's turn. Thorn, you're sitting next to Gwynwyn.
And this creature is, just so I have a visual,
It's climbing up and like had a moment where it almost slipped and is about to stand up and be in the middle of the bridge.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yes, because we had
On the
sometimes during
bridge.
narration, if you guys do a thing, we have to
I
roll back a
wasn't
little.
sure if it was like from the ledge of where the
You
bridge
can
is
see
going
the
across.
top part of it.
Okay.
It is a pale pink, huge, fat humanoid. No one has made for any
Right.
checks, so you don't.
On the bridge, not on the ledge.
It's on the ledge. It hasn't stood up yet. It hasn't had a turn.
Oh, I thought it was
Oh,
on
it's
the bridge.
it's not on the bridge.
No, it's on the ledge of the ledge of the bridge, the side of the
Oh,
bridge.
okay.
Yes,
I was-
it's climbing up the bridge.
Land
Oh.
bridge.
Okay.
It's on the bridge.
It's-
not
There's a
on
bridge?
the land.
Over an open space.
Now I feel silly.
Oh my god.
That's why I said you're attempting to murder it, is what you were doing.
I assumed it could get to the bridge very easily. Okay.
Does it?
Never mind.
Does it look?
It's hanging up and was going to stand into the middle.
We're 2 turns in. It's
Cool.
fine.
Does it look?
Elle was an idiot.
Upset at what Elle did.
Yes, it looks like you just tried to kill this. I'll admit, this is some sort of giant.
I guess we're here now. I'm just gonna try to
Now-
push him off the side.
Now, does that care about your size? I believe it's one size category larger than you. Is that the case? Can you check for me?
The telekinetic shove.
Telekinetic shove?
It
should
doesn't state.
Doesn't state? Let me.
I can double.
Yo,
check.
you're fine.
I mean,
We
the
have
grease.
Ooh,
the
that's-
grease is still there.
That's not a great roll for me. That is a 14.
A 14 does make the save because it's
Okay.
DC 14.
Wouldn't it be disadvantaged because the grease is still there?
It's not a dexterity check.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Fair
enough.
it gives you difficult terrain, and when you're attempting to get up, it has a. You have the spell. Should have the spell
Yeah.
description. Doesn't do anything to do with athletics checks.
I like that spell sheet.
He's also not prone.
Yeah. Because he passed.
Right. He's climbing. He's holding on to the wall.
He does his turn and ends there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it my turn or yours?
It is now.
That was
Are
just
you done?
a bonus action.
Okay.
I'll after
Murder hobos.
That-
Not even once.
after seeing that didn't work, I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on him.
Wisdom save.
Yeah,
Describe what happens.
He's a wise.
he's gonna hear some
That's an
not
8.
so nice little whispers in his mind, and then he's gonna run away.
And his goal is to get as far away from you as he can.
Right.
With his movement.
Yeah.
A reaction for an immediate use your movement away.
Yeah.
So he's faster at running than he is at climbing. He's going to get up and begin going the opposite direction, further into the further south.
And he takes 12 points of psychic damage.
As he stands up, you see his belly loses most of this paint. He's this big, round, white belly. There's some awkward lines where you see previous bits of armor and leather were, and hooked with this big, rusty, like bolt almost, is a massive stone club.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me.
And he moves, so it's 10 feet for him to get up. He's in difficult terrain because of the grease. 20 feet, now he's out of it, and then move 20 feet further. He is now on the exact opposite end of the bridge. You're at the start of the 40-foot bridge, he's at the end of the 40-foot bridge.
I believe it's only just one round. Let me double check.
It
Yes.
is. It's the reaction
Yep.
from that. We'll then move to Silas's turn. Silas,
So
you have
we
any
have-
checks for me? Anything you need?
We have to go down the bridge past him.
Yeah, he's between you and Eltz at the moment.
I got scared. I'm sorry.
Once again, you said the bridge doesn't look hella
Incredible, I love it.
Yeah. I just wanted to double check.
sturdy. You said the bridge doesn't look hella sturdy.
No, the bridge looks like there was something recently that happened here that it was damaged. There's scorch marks on the ground, and one of the pillars is arced and knocked off to the side.
Did he not destroy that?
Okay. I guess I'm gonna ask. Free action talk.
Yeah.
Forward or back?
Back.
Are we going forward or back?
I'm done making decisions.
There's an angry giant on the other side. Gwynwyn's turning the corner around. There's another path. We're going. Okay.
Okay. If we're going back, can Silas see if he can damage the bridge in any way before we leave? Hopefully
It's a-
collapsing it. I know it's super hard, probably.
You can make me. You're not a dwarf, so I can't say stone cunning. Go ahead and give me. This is an intelligence check. Kind of looking at the architecture, trying to figure out what you need to do.
It's gonna be a 14.
14. This is a big bridge. You'd need some heavy duty stuff. You'd need to have like a stone club that's 10.5 feet long, like
Okay.
this giant does, if you want to do something. And it's looking down, you notice that the stone pillar at the base is on the ground and arced like this. You've seen this magic before.
Huh. That's unfortunate. Okay, I'm gonna throw 3 gold at the ground in front of the bridge, kind of towards where the giant is, and move the cart around.
Can I mage hand 2 of the gold back?
No, because it's not your turn.
Kill you after I kill
You
her.
throw 3 golds down?
Yes.
The giant looks down, confused. Oh, thank you.
Are we still running?
Well, yeah, because you paid the toll. And then some. That's Pearlgut's turn.
Girl gut.
We just paid the toll.
After you tried murdering him.
I thought it was like a fun. Okay.
You want me to?
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
I almost
You
killed you.
want me
I
God, it was a
misunderstood.
sorority
I
crowd.
thought that it like could.
So, Gwynwyn, you've
Getting
not
up
had your
onto
turn
the
yet.
bridge.
I've not had my turn yet.
I'm going to move 40
would be
feet
like,
and get into melee range with
like-
the cart.
Yeah. I get you.
I'm going to make 2
If I was
great
playing
club
other character,
attacks.
I would've done the same thing.
After I paid the toll.
He walks past you. Toll!
I paid for the cart as well. Don't hit the cart. hit the L.
Gwynwyn, do you stop?
I'm like getting the cart to go back.
So you're still in the active process of moving?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I paid for the cart as well.
So I'm in an impasse. We have one player trying to do something and another player who's doing the opposite. I'm trying to end the fight. I'm trying to continue to, or I'm trying to pay the toll. I'm trying to run away.
Well, he turned the cart around.
Your turn hasn't happened.
No,
The-
Silas turned the cart around, so now the cart's moving in the other
No.
direction.
You're driving.
Right.
Your turn hasn't
Silas
happened
is
yet.
walking.
I would
Silas-
if I could.
Like, Silas is walking and went back.
Wait, I thought Silas had turned the cart around. That was
He
part
can't.
Of the turn.
You're
Can't.
I said it would have helped, but I can't do that.
right. It's
Yeah.
you have
Okay.
the reins. That's an action on your turn is to control this cart.
Okay. Then I haven't moved the cart yet. It's
Right.
still moving forward.
Right. So that's what I'm asking. So it's Pearlgut's turn.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at you expectantly. Am I fighting you people?
Gwynwyn's not raising any weapons. He just has the reins.
Drops that. He drops it to the side. He's still got it in his hand. Reaches down and you watch these big, crusty fingernails trying to scoop, grabbing one of the catching on one of the flagstones on the actual bridge to pick up, and then he picks up the stone which has the gold and takes the pieces, kind of scoops them into his hand. 2 more gold.
No, that's 5 gold.
You're paying.
It's not my turn.
I'm not a bard. I'm not
Take
a
it
bard.
off me.
I'll make a deception check.
You can make a deception check.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I
God.
swear to God if I
Pearlgut's pretty dumb.
So is our deceptor.
21.
6. You're missing
Are
one.
we in miscalculation beginning?
Are you sure?
Are we out of initiative order? Or
We are.
Oh,
Because there's like talking going on.
I prestidigitate. Gold coin.
Make a sleight of hand check with
Hang on.
disadvantage.
Hang on. Look at
And then I pulled out a
Look at
real gold
material.
coin. Wait, what are the
Prismatic
Retillion
material.
components?
She has like hundreds of gold.
Can I ask the
I don't
giant
know.
something?
Do you know what?
Yeah, you toss the gold.
I can't do that.
You watch as he puts it in his little pouch on the underside of one of the leather belts. As he does, you watch as he moves, one of the folds moves, and like a pint of sweat drips onto the bridge itself.
Pint?
A pint.
Why? That's specific.
I'm gonna say it. As punishment, Elle needs to go lick it.
Oh!
No, I can do you one better.
Foreboding.
I can do you one
Foreboding.
better. Hey, sorry guys. 5 gold, 2 gold, 2 gold. Do you want gold? We share money. Does that work?
Yes.
Cool.
2 gold, 2
We're
gold.
good.
I paid 3.
I
got
gave
5.
you 5 gold.
You watch this
There you
this
go.
big creature, this
Apologies.
big pink fat, like huge fat giant takes a few steps and like he's walking on the side. You are able to gingerly walk around. The horse is a little bit spooked. If Gwynwyn, can you give me an animal handling check as you push forward with the cart?
17.
17. You're fine. You're able to kind of make them go gingerly, just calmly past. Now that you're on the actual bridge, looking over, you do see that curved stone pillar, these scorch marks, and some portions of the top of the bridge as you go further have just been carved out as if by some powerful effect. Like there's bits of stone that are perfectly hollowed out of the bridge itself.
And this looks the same as what
The
we saw.
curve.
Well, the curved stone thing
Okay.
is a curved stone pillar.
The giant is
Can I
still
make a check?
alive, which is interesting.
Huh?
Can I make a check real fast?
Sure. What do you? Ask me your question.
Using a sense of smell, can I see if there's a distinctive woody smell?
Give me a perception check. You want to sniff, see what things smell like?
Specifically, a perception check with advantage because I have keen
Yeah,
smell.
I know you have keen smell. I know your features.
Well, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. I only rolled an 11.
An 11? You can't pick up anything that's sensitive, but you do smell something very obvious. There are 2 big stinky things nearby, not one.
Me. But I ate all of them. Yeah. Okay, go. Sorry.
That's not good. Moving on. Yes, I only smell 2 big
You
things.
smell 2 different types of big stinky things.
And it's not...
One of them is Pearl Gut, who hasn't introduced himself, but, well, I already spilled the beans.
The other one isn't him.
No, you're smelling something else that smells foul and rotted beneath the bridge.
Let's move.
I mean, it smells rancid, I suppose maybe is more accurate, but it smells like rotting food.
The quicker we can leave, the better. Let's go. Before you grease trap him again.
I'm not supposed to.
It's like noon.
Look, I learned 2 things in life. 1, when you get spooked, blast
Grease?
first, ask questions later.
Oh.
2, I've been hurt so bad recently. 2, when you make mistakes,
Learn
compensate
nothing.
in some ways. Perhaps with money, if you have it. I followed both lessons today.
We're going to have an adult conversation after this.
There isn't a
Wait,
third.
really?
Yes.
Can I get? You're from Eltz. Can I get a history
Jake
check?
and Clella?
Sure.
Silas and L.
Oh, okay. I was like, don't be mad at me. I'm sorry.
Not good.
Oh, you're
That's a
I thought that
3.
was amazing.
But
That was funny.
-2, so that's a 1.
This is a shitty bridge.
Yeah.
Let's just go, guys.
Whatever. I've done enough damage. I'm just done talking.
It was amazing, though.
All right, if you
No, it
guys want to
wasn't.
keep
Did
going,
you do damage though?
as the cart leaves the other side of the bridge and continues along the way south, you watch as the hill giant begins to slowly climb down to the bottom of the side, and all you hear is a pair of voices begin to engage in this weird guttural tongue giant as they begin to chat. Rhubarb, 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 rhubarb.
That's the one
Love
character I
her.
don't speak giant with. I'm sorry.
I don't speak giant either.
Nope.
Draconic? Gotcha. Elvish? Gotcha.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As we cross the bridge, I just want to see. I know she
Well,
did an
they go.
animal handling check, but the horses, they're okay. Like, we can keep proceeding.
They didn't hurt him. In fact, they didn't react terribly to giants existing. All things considered, it doesn't appear that this was a very new experience to them.
Then, if everyone's okay with it, I say we move a little faster than normal for the next hour or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Gwynwyn's down for that.
Start reaching for my coin. Are we still mad? I'm sorry.
No.
No.
You reach your coin purse?
It's the
Have
only.
some money.
You don't need to keep paying us, but we should
It's
move
the
a little
only way
faster.
that has gotten people to be nice to me so far.
It shows.
God.
We can give you hugs.
I'm gonna go read my book in the back of the cart.
If you want an adult conversation, Silas is here for you.
I'm writing a Mr. Book. Today was a bad day.
That was a good.
I tried to kill a giant.
I got really scared, and then I thought Featherfall would make it better. It did not.
Look, I appreciate
I
the
spent
second
7 gold on friendship. I do not think it's working.
It's already worked. You don't have to spend gold.
I want to go home.
You
made friends. It's okay.
Boy.
Oh God.
Okay.
I'm
With
emo journaling in my book.
the giant and his companion behind you, you continue along your way towards the capital. I'm going to ask for another real quick check. That was very exciting. Did not expect any initiative during that.
I'm done, guys.
You're done? Then, Victoria, you want to roll me a d20?
No.
I know, right?
Roll the red one.
19.
Oh,
Yay.
thank
Higher is worse, actually.
I think it's random.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
There's no way he would make it random.
You just
No
got
way.
called
You're
out.
telling
Oh,
me.
it's Connor, and Connor is a
Honest-
good person.
Wait,
it's
you're
fine.
telling
No
me that
And
my
facetious.
tabletop role-playing game depends on chance?
So what we're doing now, some of you might not know, is sometimes we use what are called random encounters. Now, I don't like the normal random encounters where they're just, you get attacked by 4 wolves, 6 dire bears, and a goat. Never trust a goat. But so what we like to do is we have some encounter tables that have different sort of things that can happen on here. Instead of just random fights, little things that can maybe give insights into the campaign or be a bit of fun. However, higher isn't always better, but in this case, it is something relatively minor and peaceful. Like a Coco!
Yeah. Who was just being naughty and going into people's bags today.
Uh-oh.
As you continue your way along the road, it's early afternoon. You've traveled a bit of ways along the road. You haven't seen many. You've seen a couple passersby along the road. Individuals on horseback, on foot. No other like big wagons, no trade caravans. The most you've seen is you did see a trio of individuals who were pretty well armed passing along the road. They don't look like bandits. They look like they were maybe mercenaries of some sort. But as you round the bend on your way to Walnut Hill, you do see a lovely little sight. There is a small descent as you're kind of like on top of a hill in comparison, looking down into a small field of blue lilies. In the center of the field is a tall boulder, probably about 8 or 9 feet, made of a really brilliant, almost polished looking white gray stone. Just a nice little landmark here. On the far side, past the boulder and surrounding the eastern side of this little lilies, is a stream. Here you see, as you guys are kind of passing, you see spooked from one of the nearby bushes, a small white rabbit begins hopping through the field. Butterflies, a small moment of peace that smells considerably nicer than your last encounter.
I would love to
Already don't
picnic
trust
here.
it. No, I already don't trust it.
I would love to picnic here.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
So lunch break?
Lunch break.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I guess we're being overruled.
lilies.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's been a few hours.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to go for a while.
Lilies.
You're considerably
You like
further
flowers?
past.
My name is Lily.
So while they're all relaxing, I would like to take this time,
Lily.
instead of taking any kind of a
The
break,
Lily
to just make
part
rounds
is
around
the
wherever we're
flowers.
camping, wherever we're resting.
We're not quite. So you still got several hours of travel before camping time. But if you want to do some light patrolling on the other side,
Yeah,
just in
just
case
make
anything's
sure.
coming over there, keep an eye out. That's fine.
Need some help?
Can I press
why not?
some lilies
Sure,
into
I'll go with
Mr.
you.
Buck?
Now, are you watching? So where you are, you're kind of in a raised portion. The road is on one side. There are those lilies. Are you guys watching the other side since they're on one side? What are you? Where are you going? One side of the road to the east, there is this patch of flowers. The other side of the road, which also dips down, overlooks mostly just sort of grasslands for a ways. There are some trees off in the distance where we might get into some woodlands, but we're a fair bit away.
Mind if I penetrate your mind a little bit, and then we'll split the difference? Go on one side, or go on the other?
You didn't have to use the word penetrate, but yeah.
Not a good enough reason to use the word penetrate.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
Moving on. Sure.
I'd like to make flower crowns.
Okay, absolutely.
I want to press some lilies into my book.
You all want to spend some time doing so. Are you doing what are you up to?
Grabbing flowers for her alchemy kit. Just seeing, maybe she
Great.
can use them later.
You all can go through here and go collect a couple bushel of flowers as you're doing this. As you guys are doing this task, you said you're going on the flower side, Silas. Is that correct?
Oh, it depends on what you want to do.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
just need to know
matter.
who's going on the flower side.
You'll go on the flower side. I'll go.
Can I have a
on the-
perception check from you?
Yes.
They're not going
perception.
far. They went down this little hill about 10 to 12 feet and are gathering little bits of flowers.
Is it a walnut hill?
It is not, in fact, a walnut hill.
Pinecone? 19.
Acorn.
I got a 19.
A 19.
Oh, God.
What do your Loxodon eyes see?
It's not what they see, it's what I hear.
Shit.
What do I hear?
You hear on the far side of this little valley, very small, we're talking 75 feet long, parallel to the road, and like 45 feet deep. Near the brook, it's hard to hear because it's the sound of a little stream going by. You hear just a small, faint sound.
Can I go to investigate?
You absolutely may if you want to take your time to Are you delicately walking through where the lilies are?
Tread carefully, Matthew.
I'll watch my stuff.
My players, it's weird. My players recognize fantasy races that I make. I don't understand languages. Excuse me.
I don't know if he when he said penetrated my mind, if we're in any kind of communication. It's still a little.
No.
confused
You can
about
talk back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm gonna let him know I heard something. Just gonna go check it out, and I will actually be very gentle.
Give me
through.
give me a stealth check. Now you have you don't have disadvantage. You're not wearing armor, so just give me a stealth check. Loxodons actually receive armor
me-
from their hide
Let
itself.
me know what you find.
19.
A 19. That is enough where you don't appear to disturb it. As you take a few steps, placing your hand, kind of looking around, you see a creature that looks to be looking down at the water. It's tilting its head. It's not very big. It's probably, well, standing on all fours, it looks to be probably about 3.5 feet tall. Very small, like the height of a halfling or a gnome. However, lengthwise, it's actually about 5.5 feet long. Its wings folded back. It's looking down at the water, and you see this small silver dragon making little noises at the babbling stream.
Okay.
It does not appear to have noticed you or your friends as they gather flowers nearby.
I'm gonna.
This is a very small dragon. Just to clarify, we're talking, again,
German
3 feet
Shepherd
tall.
size?
Yeah, I always use German. It's just like convenient, and it's
Prosciutto size.
It's prosciutto sized. I don't know how much you know about dragons, so there's not much I can tell you intuitively
the size
about
of
this.
cheese.
But
Sorry.
Dear God.
there is a very small. It's very recognized to be a dragon. It has wings, and rather than having big, scary horns, it's look next to all this beautiful nature in the water. It's very almost serpentine in its movements, beautiful arcs, but there's no immediate sense of dread that you might necessarily have from looking at like a big evil dragon. There's no it doesn't look like a predator in this moment. It looks like a child making sounds at the water.
Silas, what'd you find?
Kids. So
Kids?
I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna, as quietly as possible, put some rations at my feet, and then. Huh? Well, hello there.
You watch as where the wings before were folded, now they're pressed very tightly to its torso. The wormling, a form of small dragon, stops and puts its back towards the water, looking closer towards you. Its jaw. No, dragons don't have lips, but its jaw still closed tightly. You can see it's just the one last.
I fold my ears as best I can to replicate his wings, and
I didn't find any.
you didn't have to. I'm sorry. Were you looking for something?
There are no water spirits here.
And you didn't find any. I'm so sorry.
He kind of picks up his head. You see, the neck of this dragon is long. It's a bit longer. It looks long for the creature's body. Kind of tilts up, and you watch him eyeing this massive warhammer you have on your back. and just kind of there's not aggression, but there's definitely this is a kid, and you're carrying a gun effectively.
Is it strapped on?
It is.
Is there any way I can pop the strap off without grabbing?
Yeah,
it
that
anywhere?
seems like adventurer stuff. You want to just
Pop it
hook?
off. It falls off under me.
Yeah.
There's rations at my feet.
You look funny.
I mean, I would like to think I look a similar color to you. Does that mean you look funny?
You have horns in your mouth.
You have horns on your head.
Kind of looks up for a moment. Yeah.
Are we cousins? We might be cousins.
No.
You're probably right. I'm sorry.
She kind of takes a few. He kind of takes a few steps closer. You watch as a little bit less cautious. The silver dragon's wings kind of unfold and are kind of like at a 45 above it. You see now, the wings of a silver dragon are sort of almost. They're very graceful as he walks around. There's never this awkward bouncing. It's very majestic in the natural motions. Oh, come on, Alex, stop. He's taking screenshots of my nonsense. But he walks up a bit closer. I haven't seen anyone who looks like you before. I've seen people with mouth horns before who were green.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I haven't seen anyone like you before. And the world's full of surprises.
He thinks on this for a moment. You should go to Carbos.
Carbos? What's there?
That's where me and my mom came from.
Oh. Huh. Well,
He lifts up his head again, looking again past the stream. He's looked a few times there. She's not back yet.
she's not back yet? How long has she been gone?
Oh, she just went to go get some berries. And she said I could stay and play with the flowers and with the butterflies. The butterflies are yummy.
They are yummy, I bet.
You do hit the common indicates this is probably, it's very clearly a child.
Yeah.
In the way that it's talking. What are you? I know a lot of things, but I don't know what you are.
Well, that's a good question. It's have you ever heard of?
By now, guys, you can hear Silas is talking with some child.
Yeah,
You're not far.
We've been making flower crowns.
Do you have a stack of flower
I
crowns?
do have a stack of.
Oh no.
We've been talking, and we would love to
Approach.
approach at some point with a flower crown.
You take a few steps past, and you see a small silver dragon. It is a little wormling. None of you have ever seen such a none of you have ever seen, I don't believe, a wormling. Most of you have never seen a dragon of any size. They are very uncommon to find sort of creatures.
In Draconic, can I say hello?
Silas, you hear this. Now, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Did you learn from a book or did you learn from your uncles?
I think I learned from a book, but probably practiced a bit.
Then what you hear is technically it is a collection of growls and sort of these deeper throat sounds, a little bit harder to make. There's sort of your accent you've picked up.
Yeah.
There's a sort of smoothness to it, which kind of immediately perks up with this child who looks up. You speak the tongue.
I knew a few people like you. Not exactly like you, but you know, dragons.
Humans' eyes are supposed to be one color.
I have a
Mother
secret.
said when I learn how to change form, it's one of the things to look out for, because people will know. But you're not a dragon.
I'm not a human either. I'm a special elf.
I want to be a special dragon.
I mean, you already look like a special dragon to me.
Mom's coming back.
Oh God.
Wait, do you wanna? My friend here made something for you. If you would like it.
You hold up one of these flower crowns?
I have an arm with flower crowns draped on it because I wanted everybody to have
Connor,
one.
make sure.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The little boy looks up, seeing this, switching back to common here. Caradoc thanks you and eats one of the flower crowns.
Amazing.
A gift for a special boy like you. And I give a bow to the dragon.
I will say this, not bigger, he's not considerably larger than a
No,
person.
I've been really low.
And Silas, as you've been keeping a swivel, and if you are checked in at any point,
I'm diligently doing my patrol and still being like, Silas. Silas. What's going on?
Connor props on that.
The further away you are, I'm sorry.
On the
Help your friend.
on the far side of the stream, breaking from where that tree line was before, walking at a sort of casual pace, walking at a casual pace and then stopping, is a woman clad in silver armor, a shield hoisted on her back, and a small like sack that she's got, looks like it's filled with something in her other hand. She stops frozen still for a moment, and still about 150 feet from you guys, is just giving a long look at each and every one of you who's present.
I'm instantly in the deepest bow of my life.
Hi, Indraconic. I can teach you.
I'm just bowing with the flower crowns out. Like,
You're being polite, you said?
yeah, bowing flower crowns out. Like,
How do you react to seeing this? She looks like a knight. She looks like she has shining silver armor, stepped out of a fairy tale.
I think Gwynwyn kind of just like waves and then goes back to looking at the flower. She's not really, and like looking at the dragon as
Okay.
well.
And Silas, any reaction to just seeing this person?
I mean, I probably started crisscross applesauce at this point talking to the dragon, so I'm just gonna nod.
Okay.
I don't know that it's a.
Okay. She begins returning to walking, but her head is just tilting as she watches you as she continues marching, but doesn't quite get to the stream. Caradoc, the little silver dragon wormling, and yes, Clella, I can spell that for you if you'd like.
Thank you.
Caradoc.
Thank you.
That's Caradoc.
I got that right.
Good boy.
I would.
I'm gonna
never
admit that it
Silver
started with a
dragon.
K.
Yes, he is a wormling silver dragon. He's actually technically what's called a whelp. For those of you, there's categories between the others, but anywho,
Out of character, we can adopt him. Is what I'm
you
saying?
absolutely can't.
He has a mom.
He's a mom.
If you had been ruder, there would have been a frightening presence.
Can I do a history check to know if silver dragons are part of like the council thingy? The dragon-
Sure, if you want to make a history check about silver dragons, absolutely.
I just want to know if they're in that like
And-
council thingy.
Yeah, so it's history to know about them historically, and it's arcana if someone wants to know something about what the deal with silver dragons is as a general thing.
Gwynwyn wants to know that.
Yeah, sure. You've never.
I know
This is
what
a
I want
dragon.
to do.
Those aren't
I don't know. I give myself a
common at all.
Silas, I haven't seen anything crazy on my end. What about you?
Would you believe me if I told you there was a man-eating dragon? I'm sounding as sarcastic as possible in my head.
You're crazy, man.
Tell me about the history.
I only got a 12.
With a 12,
Sorry, you're not here.
the silver dragons have a representative on the Draconic Council.
Cool.
Because there is still a dragon lord for the silver dragons.
I'm just establishing general respect for anything dragon shaped for myself.
She's actually knight-shaped.
Right now, she is.
Yeah, can I figure out if this? I mean, I'm making a lot of assumptions right now.
At this point, Caradoc has gone back to looking at the stream, making little popping noises. Unfortunately, does not appear. Do any of you speak Aquan?
No, not awkward.
Lost my ring.
No, not
Have I
here.
been speaking Aquan by accident?
You've been making popping noises. It's clear you were trying to do. Aquan's more. It's more of a feeling than a person. They don't have like, they have very loose grammar.
You pick up vibes.
As long as I didn't say
Yeah,
something.
it's a vibe.
inappropriate in
It's
front of
really
a
vibe
child.
check,
Oh
really,
my
mostly.
God. I just want to make sure I didn't cuss in front of a child.
Oh no, you're fine.
Dragons are born like super smart.
As the woman begins to approach, you see that any of you who are watching closely as she walks, as she steps into the stream and crosses, where she walks, her feet sink to the bottom of this stream. The stream's only between, it's a couple inches to like a foot at its steepest. Where she walks, tiny crystallizations appear and drift down the stream. A few of them at a time, nothing enough to mess up the stream, but but almost like large snowflakes atop the stream as she passes through.
I'm still bowing with flower crowns out.
I want to have one later if we don't feed them all.
There are thousands of flowers.
Right, I
You can
can-
definitely spend
I want
your time.
one that is meanie made, like specifically.
Do you not have one on your head already?
I'll make you a special crown.
No, I was basically pressing
How
them into
far
a
away is
book.
the mom from
The mom
us?
is in the stream has walked up. She hasn't spoken, but she's just been watching all of you. You see that she wears she's wearing full plate armor, and the shield on her and her breastplate both bear the same sigil, a bronze spear crossed with a silver sword, the sigil of the Legion of the Runic Knights.
Aww.
Wait. Nope, I can't ask those
Um,
questions.
Calling out to the mother as she gets closer. I just want to. You've raised a rather polite son. It's been a pleasure to meet him.
Young one, have you been behaving? You watch as Caradoc sits up tall, and you see as Caradoc extends his front legs and sits a little bit higher, almost like 4.5 feet, because just the way the angling works. Stands up a little bit more, gets a little bit taller than Gwynwyn. These are very nice people. Even the man with mouth horns.
I just start fiddling with my mouth horns.
Upon hearing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never considered the mouth horns.
My clutch is not familiar with loxodons. I hope you understand that the child means no ill will towards you or your kind.
I find that respectful, and I appreciate the apology.
We're glad to see a runic knight in these parts.
There are difficulties, and we've been dispatched. Unfortunately, she leans forward, still in this human form, just looking very intently at Caradoc. Unfortunately, I was followed on my mission. So I've been diverted. She kind of gives flower crown emojis, indeed. You all, I appreciate your kindness with my child. She kind of looks over at Ismini, who, you've been very regal, right?
I am treating this woman with the utmost respect, like averting gaze, holding, I'm being very stiff. I'm very awestruck, basically. The
She-
baby.
Unlike,
Anytime you meet a girl boss.
oh my gosh, I guess technically I did.
Did we full circle to that?
Yeah.
We did full circle.
did.
Oh, no. Anytime Matthew introduces a powerful woman, you can count on me to say the word girl boss. at
There's a
some
lot of
point.
strong people in the setting.
Right.
You're
I mean,
strong-
I'm
you're gonna
not
be-
complaining about
Yeah.
the powerful women.
It's because I have these preconceived notions of dragons, and so this tiny wormling, you could say it was the size of a Bichon, and I'd be like, yes, master.
Could you imagine?
Frankly, I'm scared she's just gonna run away after a dragon at some point.
But looking, there doesn't appear to be anything hostile here. It does seem like she's pretty calm. There was a very brief moment where she had to make some real decisions about what was going on here.
Lucky to live.
I'm so glad I made flower crowns to be the most
Literally.
non-intimidating version of me.
By this point, how many flower crowns does Caradoc have?
I've put at least one on his head that I hope he hasn't eaten yet.
Caradoc is happy to eat other subsequent crowns, however.
Okay.
Because lilies are delicious. These are blue lilies, though. If they were red
I'm
lilies,
still
they wouldn't
patrolling.
taste
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Checking in with Silas. He's not responding.
I keep
Silas,
saying,
Leaving you
all
on
things
red.
good? I guess he's busy.
it's a tiny dragon.
Not
it's
dead.
gonna tell us it's fine. We're all gonna die.
Two things.
Is
So Gwynwyn rolled an 18 on my Arcana check on a silver dragon,
Okay.
and then she does want to turn to the knight. Be like, do you know anybody with magic?
I must apologize. I'm admittedly not terribly familiar with the arcane arts. However, should you make your way towards Carbos, there... She kind of stops herself, realizing how far away she is truly from home. If you were looking for a mage to the north is Dunsmith, and she turns, and to the south is Eltz. Though, to be honest with you, Eltz is challenging for those who are of even tempers. This dignified woman does not appear to be the biggest fan of the big city filled with wealthy folks.
Fair.
I'm glad you didn't offer money. When you said there was trouble nearby, should we skirt around Walnut Hill? One of our friends is a local.
Oh, my business is not in Walnut Hill. I must. There's
Anything we
something that
should know.
Unless you happen to have information about a Varaxi blade, I do not believe I need any information from you.
No,
Could we ask?
we do not, my lady. However, would it be a problem to ask your name? I am Ismini Callister of Issel.
I am Lady Iselda of the Runic Legion. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
I?
Yes, Iselda.
Spelled it right.
Woo.
That one was a little.
I am gonna ask for spelling on
That's
every
okay.
fantasy name.
These are
Her theory
shameless.
had me like,
Well, we went nuts over here on this side of the table.
They're
Oh my gosh.
You know what BG stands for.
This is a human woman, just to clarify.
Well,
wait, is
that
she
doesn't
not
matter.
a dragon?
She might be.
In
She has referred to the dragon as her clutch.
okay,
previously.
Right.
cool. I got
No, but-
confused.
But I'm just
for a
clarifying,
second
it
there.
isn't someone
the
you might be
first.
asking about.
Well, I mean, it's been a
A
little
true
while.
polymorph is not that hard.
It's been a while,
call
and
a
you're a
dragon
silver
that.
dragon. You can change your
You
shape.
skin it, it can be a purse.
Eve.
It's not Eve.
I know. I'm mad though.
Sorry.
Connor.
Unfortunately, we do have to leave. You have been very kind to my child. Is there anything I can do for you?
Shaky-handed. I'm still awestruck. Like, would you like a flower crown?
Oh my gosh.
That would be nice. Thank
Blue
you.
really matches her hair.
I'm gonna give her
She
the
does
nicest,
have crystal blue eyes.
I'm gonna give her the nicest flower crown that I made today. I'm
Damn.
fanboying.
Oh.
I'll make you a nicer one. It's okay. The
DM.
nicest.
She takes this, and you see she places it upon her head. Her child giggles, making popping and these sort of essentially just small yipping sounds. Dragons do have, they are, to an extent, they have these, not words in Draconic, but emotions expressed through sound. And just hopping around, a bit of laughter. And she wears that happily.
If I had artistic ability, our entire apartment would be covered in dragons, with flower crowns.
Bring back
lucky.
flower crowns.
I guess I do apologize. I didn't actually describe what she looked like, and that's a failing on my part.
I have a mental.
Ooh, I wonder how terrible this is. This is a human woman, probably about 5'8" in height.
You're on track
Her
so far.
armor, similar to a lot of the Runic Legion, a lot of stuff similar to Silver Dragons, as it should be obvious at this point. Sort of very much what plates exist are not layered plate, but long molded pieces of steel, polished white. The edges of each are inscribed with small runic, draconic passages, which indicate the enchantments placed upon it. Similarly, you do notice though she does not carry a weapon, she does carry a shield. The pouch itself smells of fruit and appears to be the berries the child was referring to previously.
It's adorable.
She does take a small moment, pulls open what looks to be a coin pouch, and pulls out. It's a silver cylinder. It's a little bit wide and definitely too thick to be a silver coin. Perfectly cut, though about half an inch thick. She listens for a moment to her child whisper and takes a step closer. And of course, for our Loxodon friend. The Legion thanks you. And I hope you have a pleasant day. Unfortunately, I do have to go on with my child, but I do hope we meet again in our travels.
DM, how long would it take to fast sketch a small picture of a dragon by the water?
If you would like to, if you want to ask her if she's willing to sit and pose for a sketch.
Her son, not her.
Oh.
If she has...
Give me this last roll of the night. It's a charisma check with advantage, or a persuasion check with advantage, because that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
You said persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
I have an 18.
How do you ask? Who are you asking, him or her, and what do you say?
I'm asking her. I'll start. I don't know much about dragons, but I understand you have a horde. For when he starts his, may I have a piece given to him?
You explain that you
Art.
want to sketch.
Mm-hmm. I start pulling out painter supplies and all.
There are 4 of my kin on our mission. I'm in no rush. She sits and leans against the pale white rock. As she does, once the gray fades away and it turns solid, like it's a thick layer of ice as she rests against it, cooling her body as you sit and paint her son. Excited, proud, and regal, he puffs out his little reptilian chest.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
With the flower crown.
The flower crown.
With the flower crown.
Yeah, there's even lilies in a stream behind
It's
it.
nature.
It's vivid, beautiful. So I'm going for it.
You want to make a painter's check with advantage for me?
Are you doing
I
the
will, and I'm holding on to DM dice for a reason.
I know I said that was the last dice roll, but I have an idea if he rolls it's above a certain
I want
DC.
to end on Jake's note. Can I just...
I'm gonna DM inspiration reroll one of them.
Please do.
While they do that,
You have
kind
a
of
good
off to the
voice.
side where they can't hear. You took
This may be the biggest roll of my life.
Yes.
in Elvish. Once again, I haven't earned this. Can you take it, please?
16.
Okay, I have the thing.
We'll talk about it.
Thank you. I have the thing.
You'll need to look at those because she did not offer an explanation as to what these
It's powerful, so it's intelligence
these
and my
it's
proficiency.
Okay.
I'm learning.
what is the word I'm looking for? The silver favor.
Yeah. I'm learning
16.
to not
A 16?
paint things I haven't earned.
Would you like to embellish a little bit on this art?
He's a little bit larger.
I don't know. My question is that the setting itself, would you mind a little embellishment?
Oh, please, if you have an artistic flavor.
You paint this beautiful, simple but beautiful portrait of a mighty, this mighty scion of the silver dragon flight. Caradoc. You accentuate some features of the horns, of the way that his neck looks, the might of him, and behind him this stream with dozens of small bouncing little blue motes, water elementals skipping along the stream behind him.
I hope this doesn't ruin the painting, but there's a tiny hint of green on his silver ears. Just on the edge.
Oh!
So hopefully he remembers the painter as well as the painting.
Okay.
I
Well
can be
then,
romantic.
you finish this. He looks at it excitedly. This was very kind. I can bring something to you one day too. Is that okay?
You've already brought me kindness. What more could I ever ask for?
I don't mean as a debt. Debt is something that happens that can be a source of... It doesn't have to be shameful, but I don't mean this as a debt. I mean this as a gift. You got the pleasure of giving me a gift. I would love to do the same for you.
Then as a friend, I hope to see you again one day.
Yay. His mother kind of nods, and the two of them begin stepping off. A small wave from her as she walks alongside with her son.
Did you give him his first piece of his hoard?
Maybe?
He probably has, you'd assume he might have something, but it could be a substantial thing depending on who that painter becomes someday.
I guess it's fair.
And I think that's where we'll end our session. And in the future, perhaps Silas will be someone worthy of being in a dragon's horde. Thank you all so much for joining. We really appreciate your support. We've hit our sub goal, and have an excellent week. We'll see you this Sunday for Footnotes.